ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
It's Carmichael Dave wanting you to join Capital Casino every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. in a safe, friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Go Inc.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Bar None Auction, Sky River Casino, and Trex Decking and Railing. More info at CITPFest.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
Yep. Carmichael Dave's back and everything's derailed. They moved Kayla's lighting, so they screwed up her lighting. Great. Just go back on vacation, Dave, huh? Oh, but you've earned it. You worked hard enough. You were one day back. Time to book that next trip, pal.
Man.
Happy Monday. Welcome into Matt and Kayla. I'm Matt George. That's Kayla Anderson with me now that her lighting is better. They screwed it up.
What the heck, man? I'm the only female that does radio here in the sports side of things.
As soon as I heard them talking about it this morning, I was like, yep, they just messed with Kayla's lighting, and now it's...
I mean, it's already crap. Like, let's be honest. Like, the lighting is awful. But at least it gives me some light so I can see.
If you want to see our interesting lighting here in the Sactown Sports 1140 studios, you can do so right now on the YouTube comment section, or your live stream over there. Good morning to everybody in the comment section. Good morning to everybody listening. Happy Monday. Happy Monday if you're a teacher like my wife who has to go back to work after having a random week off for ski week. Is it a thing?
Understand.
I don't know, but apparently that's the week you're supposed to go skiing. My wife did not go skiing, so what the hell did she get the week off for? I don't know.
That is very bizarre, and I'd like to do some investigating on that.
Ski week.
Like they're just saying, hey, you're supposed to ski, but hey, do whatever you want.
I thought we did this last week. The idea is that for the 4-day weekend at President's Weekend, people would do trips that would then take off the Thursday and the Tuesday. So the schools just decided, let's just give you the whole week off.
Then call it week off to do what we want. But why are you calling it ski week?
Because we need something to do, and it's February, and there's nothing to do in February except for ski. Oh, there you go, ski week.
There we go. Snowboard week.
My son had his first t-ball practice of his life this
so
weekend.
Fun to watch,
and,
by the way.
It was and my wife is the head coach because the only way we could, like, there was a massive waiting list for the league in our town, and they lacked coaches. But if you coach, then your kid automatically gets in.
Yeah.
So my wife coached. She's a former softball coach.
Of course, she's gonna coach.
And oh man, I'm just there watching, and it's.
How was the swing?
Well, my son's swing is good because he works with my wife, and my wife was a really good hitter, and she's a hitting coach, and she was a hitting coach for college softball for a while.
No kidding.
But so his swing is good, but his attention span is not. None of them are. They're 4 and 3 years old.
That's regular,
right?
Oh,
it's glorious though. I mean, we're already laughing hysterically just watching them. I can't wait for their first games. I cannot wait for their first games. I can't wait till my son plays youth soccer too, because I call it School of Fishball.
Yep.
Because it's just a crowd of children chasing after one ball and all just tripping over each other.
100%.
But I'm the person that will go down the rabbit hole of watching t-ball videos of kids running in slow motion or picking daisies in the outfield or like running the bases the wrong way or just the chaos. And then the coaches are standing out there on the field like, no. And I'm like, wife, you're on your own. I'm watching.
I salute her. I could, if I were, and believe me, I thought before I became what I did in journalism, way back in the day, I used to love to play school, and be a teacher or a camp counselor. And so I do love to teach. I would never teach young kids, though.
No?
I don't have the tolerance, the patience. I would demand perfection.
You're a high schooler, high school or
like
up?
Middle school and high school.
Middle school?
Smart,
really?
Yeah, smart little you-know-whats that I could just, I do really well with that.
My best friend is a
Really
middle
well
school
with that.
teacher. So is his wife. And I tell them they're doing the Lord's work because
It is.
middle schoolers terrify me.
I know, but I was one of those middle schoolers. So I know
exactly.
I know how to work with that.
Oh, yeah?
You get what I'm saying?
You think because you were once a middle schooler, you now understand today's middle schoolers?
That type of middle schooler.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's type of middle
unsurprising.
Kayla Anderson.
Very good in school, very much so a nuisance outside of it.
But you got good grades.
Well, yeah.
Did you pay attention and behave in class?
Oh yeah, I'm competitive. I gotta be at the top of the A's list.
Well,
so
you're better than me. I just coasted.
Didn't like middle school.
I didn't like anything.
I didn't like anything.
I mean, I had fun. I did I just wasn't like I was a fine student. I just never was a good student.
You just didn't have to be at the top of the list.
I liked what I liked the subjects that I enjoyed.
Sure.
U.S. history, loved it. Certain English classes, for some reason, was really good at Shakespeare. That's
interesting.
Stuff that interests me.
I could see you in a Shakespeare play, Matt.
Oh yeah, I've done Shakespeare.
I could see that.
Put me in. You're a dork. That's called classic. Put me in like a science class or a math class, and just brain melts out my ears. I have no clue what's going on.
So what's weird about that? Hate math, right? I've talked to you guys about this. Don't like chemistry. But for some reason, I was really, really good in biology and anatomy.
I thought I would like it, especially everyone said you want to take earth science. It's cool, you get to work with animals, blah, blah, blah. Nope, Didn't
None
of
like it.
None of it. Like, what's the thing in the animal cell called versus the thing in the plant cell? Celia! Yay! I couldn't tell you what
didn't like
freaking...
that.
Oh, no, I know Celia. This is the little things. And the only
Oh,
reason
it's not celiac?
No, well, that's what Frankie Carter said.
Like Frankie? Because every time you say this now, all I think about is Frankie.
Poor Frankie.
Bless him.
Poor Frankie.
We bring the boom!
He can't eat wheat.
I
All right.
know.
Just all you bring up is just Frankie being so sad with a loaf of bread in front of him.
Like the periodic table, screw that thing. Screw that thing. What does PI mean? I don't care. And then they'll have phosphorus is RQ. It's not, but it's like, what does that have to do with phosphorus?
Potassium is K.
Sure, yeah, that's not even close.
Sulfur?
Potassium. Sulfur. I don't even know what it is.
I think it's
Memorizing the periodic table. Get a
SU?
life, huh? Get a life, scientists who save people and do things important for the society. Get a life while I talk about sports for a living. Huh?
I was going to say, isn't it because it's Latin? But I don't even know if that's true.
I don't know.
your bet is as good as mine.
Science, math, not my thing. But I left. I went
Kings
to the
are,
weekend.
though.
Ha!
Yeah.
Yay! I went to the weekend, Kayla, saying
Grand segue, Kayla.
Ooh, grand. I don't remember you saying grand.
I don't either.
I went to the off season, the weekend, telling myself I'm sick and tired of being so negative. Genuinely, like.
You think you're that negative?
Oh yes. Oh, for literally the last 14 months from the moment we talked about this before.
Yeah.
From the moment Mike Brown was fired, not retired.
Put out to pasture.
Well, from the moment Mike Brown was fired, my enjoyment and love and appreciation for this Kings organization fell off a cliff. Like I've loathed so much of this organization for such a long time, but I can't quit it because I love it so much and I'm so angry. It's like an addiction. I can't get rid of it.
And you get paid for it.
I need rehab, and now I work in this field. But I can never quit the Kings. Never could. Like Dave and I are the same way. We're in it, and there's nothing else we can do. But genuinely, like I found myself the vast majority of the time hate watching, and not necessarily watching them to be bad because I like the players. I know the players on a somewhat personal level. Like I've developed relationships with different guys at different times.
They're all going to be gone though.
Right. Well, yeah. And it's like, I don't want to see them fail necessarily. It's the same way I watch the A's. Like I love all the A's players. I love the A's as a baseball team. I cannot stand the A's organization from the very, very top. It's just
and I get that.
How I am.
I understand that. Yeah.
But like, it's had an effect on my content. It's had an effect on personal
your health.
Yeah, my therapist is like, dude, chill. It's a basketball team.
Oh goodness.
But my therapist also likes to make fun of me for being a Kings fan. He's an Oregon Ducks fan, so he just rubs that.
Ew, I hate the Ducks.
But I went into the game against the Spurs on Saturday, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to very intentionally. I'm not going to like sugarcoat everything. But I'm very intentionally going to try to find the positivity in this game. And then the Spurs started on an 11-0 start, took a 15-point lead in the first quarter. Wemby blocked literally the first or three of the first 5 King shots. And I'm like, God, please, something. And they battled back. They turned it around. I know the final score, 139-122. It looks like more of a blowout than it actually was. The fourth quarter was ugly, as it's always been for the Sacramento Kings, really. But there was a lot about that Kings game against the San Antonio Spurs that I actually liked, Kayla. And I found it to be a pretty entertaining basketball game.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought when I first turned on the TV. And I don't know why this is a thing, Matt, but every time for the past how many weekends I've had somebody visiting family or something, and for some reason they're all forced to watch the Kings.
You made them watch?
Yeah, I had to. It's my job, right? It's homework for me. And so it's always like all these family members of mine are getting a wrong idea. Well, I guess it's a real idea of what the Kings are, but they're instantly like, God, how do you do this every day?
Ew.
You know, well, it's my job, so I could have worse jobs.
Yep.
But in all seriousness, it did start off rough.
Ugh,
and it did start off like this is going to be a complete pounding on the road yet again. But I will give them credit for that first quarter, you know, coming back, and then for the next 2 quarters, playing some pretty competitive basketball where I felt like specifically seeing guys like Maxime Reynaud, and I know you're going to get into this, and Victor Wembanyama, and they obviously have a past with each other being French. But I thought Maxime really held his own. Like there was moments that it was he's not going to be able to, stand up to Wembanyama. Like, that's just what it is.
Yep.
But I felt like he held his own for the most part and had a pretty decent game. And I continuously feel like he's the one, at least, I'm being entertained watching.
Max?
Yeah. And I'm seeing growth.
We're going to talk a lot about Max on today's show. We'll get into the game that he had against Wemby here in just a second, but coming up at noon during our lunch break segment, we'll talk about the new faces that the Sacramento Kings added, Killian Hayes and Patrick Baldwin Jr., but we're also going to talk a lot about whether or not we should start looking at Maxime Reynaud as the future starting center of the Sacramento Kings going forward.
Sure.
Domas is still here. He's likely still going to be here to start next season, but are the Kings looking at Max as potentially their starting center? Because I hadn't really fully expected that. I've always kind of put him in a rotational spot.
I mean, he's a second-round pick.
Right. So, but should we start looking at him like that? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about DeAndre Hunter being out for the rest of the season. That was like the final nail in the coffin for the negativity for me on Friday, because that news broke after our show.
I know.
And I'm just like, this season just sucks. Like, the season sucks. One of the things I wanted to see was Keegan and DeAndre playing together. We're not going to get that.
But
it just
what
sucks.
did I say right that week? I was like, again, once one person goes out,
it's a domino effect.
Another one comes in,
Yep.
and then another one goes out, and we're never able to see some of these pairings. Like, that was the one that we looked forward to. And again, it's not going to happen.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about going through the college landscape. It sounds like A.J. DeBonsa is actually starting to become the number one pick consensus in a lot of people's eyes. And Darren Peterson actually played a full game. It was a bad game for him and a bad
does
game.
Does he want a cookie for that?
You played, yay! A.J. DeBonsa, by the way, played literally the full game. He played 40 minutes.
The entire time.
But Darren Peterson spoke about missing games and had a quote on that, which we'll share with you. We'll talk about the NFL Combine beginning. I personally, as someone who understands very little about the NFL Combine, I struggle, other than like the 40-yard dash and how fun it is, to see the relevancy of it. And Fernando Mendoza is not throwing in the Combine.
Yeah.
The believe number one overall pick for the Raiders. So Kayla is our expert in the NFL. Will talk a little bit about the Combine and share with me what I should be looking for. Plus, we're going to have Sean Cunningham from KCRA3 on at 1 o'clock to talk Kings. We'll go through the MLB World Series odds and win totals that are out from ESPN and Kayla's final Olympic minute, but there's some celebrations to be had based off of what happened early Sunday morning. So lots of good stuff to get to on today's show. But getting back to the game on Saturday, Kayla, really it was Wemby on the floor versus Wemby off the floor. Like, Wemby was a plus, I think, 32, plus 32 on the game in the first quarter, right? The Kings get off to that terrible start. They're down by 15 points early. When Wemby subbed out of the game, the Spurs were up 22-10.
Yes.
For the rest of that quarter, Wemby did not come back into the game. The Kings outscored the Spurs 21-13, and even took like a 4 or 6 point lead early in the second quarter. Wemby came back in,
back to that.
Like right back to it. And we know Wemby is a generational star. And I'm not saying that Max equaled Wemby's output necessarily, although their numbers were pretty consistent for the majority of the game until Wemby got going a little bit late in the game. But I thought Max went toe-to-toe with Wemby, a guy who he's very familiar with. They played together a lot and against each other a lot during their time in France, together growing up in France. Like, I thought Max, 16 points, 6 of 14 from the field, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, a block. I felt he held his own against Wemby, and it didn't look like a generational superstar number one overall pick versus the 42nd pick in the draft at all.
I felt the same way, and I think we have brought this up, and I know other shows on our lovely station, Sactown Sports, have brought this up. But there is always are we giving guys like Maxime Reynaud more credit than deserved this year because they are, just kind of out there and, they're forced to be playing at this point, but they're, not necessarily in a real rotation. Like it's something different I disagree with that a little because, like, when you're going up against good competition, you're going up against good competition.
Sure.
And if you're able to show that you're able to hold your own in some capacity against what is, I think, one of the better young players, if not the better young player, bestest young player in the game, best young player, there we go, Kayla, and you hold your own and you don't look like you're a G leaguer against them, I'm going to argue that, like, I think I'm seeing enough from Maxime Reynaud to think that he could hold his own as a starter in this league.
Well, look, if you think Victor Wembanyama is taking it easy on Maxime Reynaud because he's not Domantas Sabonis, you're kidding yourself.
There's
because
no way.
Again, Wemby and Max are very familiar with each other.
Yeah.
They know each other very well. There's no way that Wemby is when you play against your best friend, do you take it easy on your best friend? No, and I'm not saying they're best friends. I'm just saying they're very familiar with each other. There's no way Wemby's looking at Max and going, I'm going to take it easy a little bit so my fellow countrymen can play better. Hell no. We saw how competitive Wemby was in the freaking All-Star game. Exactly. Like, Wemby played hard, and you said, oh, does he not look like a G Leaguer? It's not, wow, what a low bar. What Kayla is saying is, like, no, he doesn't look like a 42nd overall pick. He doesn't look like he looked like a starting center that went toe-for-toe with arguably the best, well, Jokic still exists, but the best center in the NBA and the future generational face and superstar of this league. Yeah. And Max held his own.
And I think, you just mentioned Jokic, and, he's faced a variety of different guys this year at that position and defending. And I think, if anything, he has grown. And I know he went through that little dip earlier this season, but he's come back and has looked better than he has to start the season, or with even the good things that he was going through when we were talking about him a lot before that dip. And so I just think that we've got to give him an opportunity. And I know most people are in on him here, but there are still people out there that are skeptical because he is a second-round pick, and they completely associate that with, well, I don't know if he's starting caliber. Don't know if he's really the future. We're giving him too much credit right now. I would disagree with that. I think he's proven that he's deserving of that credit.
He came out of that little slump that he had, and during that slump was kind of the rise of Dylan Cardwell a little bit, so it didn't feel as bad as maybe it was. But he's come out of that slump as a better player. And three major areas for me. Number one, his passing is way better.
Yes.
His passing is way better.
Yes.
And you're seeing those shades of, can they use Max in a similar type of way to how they want to use Domantas Sabonis? Not at the, Max isn't the passer that Domas is.
Go through
but you're seeing the development in that area, and I would expect that to continue this summer. So that's the first one.
Sure.
Number two, the physicality. I thought, now we know Max is more a finesse player than he is a physical player, and he gets pushed around at times, but Max was initiating contact a ton in San Antonio. And again, maybe it's because he's getting up to play against his former countryman, or his countryman and friend, Victor Wembanyama, but he was physical, he was active. There's still some plays where I'm like, I wish you would go up strong instead of trying to just use the touch around the rim, but that will develop over time. But that's number two, his physicality's gotten better. And number three is, a lot, if we're being honest, not to take anything away from Max, but a lot of his success early in the season was because he was playing with Russell Westbrook.
Remember, they were on the same page.
But he was a pick and roll threat that was very much benefiting from playing with Russ.
For sure.
Now we're seeing Max. It's not that he's not still reliant on the point guard. Most bigs are, especially in a pick and roll type offense. But we're seeing Max show his ability outside of just a basic pick and roll to score, to be effective, to have an impact, which to me is encouraging. Not to take anything away from Russ or the point guards, but you want Max to be able to not just be the only way Max scores is if you get him in the pick and roll. It's like with Dylan Cardwell. The only way Dylan Cardwell scores is if you throw him a lob or if he gets an offensive rebound right at the rim. And Dylan's working on that. But Max is showing that growth to where he's shown his ability to score in multiple ways, not just in the pick and roll.
I think the one thing that, and I know you've brought this up several times, I think the one thing that we are still in question of is, can you be that guy at all that you were at Stanford, right? And being able to have that three-point shot. That's something that we don't fully know right now out of really anyone on this team, whether it be Keegan Murray getting back to being able to find consistency there, which, by the way, he was a little bit better in that game. Hit a couple threes, by the way. But, that's, I guess, and maybe he won't be that for this team here in terms of Maxime right now.
Speaking of Keegan Murray, 20 points, led the Kings in scoring, 7 of 16 from the field, 2 of 8 from three-point range, a couple rebounds, a couple assists, a steal, a block. Keegan really was responsible for the Kings getting back in this game. He was really good in the first quarter, had 11 of his 20 points in the first quarter. Hit his first 2 3-point attempts, and then missed the final 6 throughout the rest of the game. In the past, we've seen Keegan have good starts to games, score a lot in one quarter, and then not score much for the rest of the game. But what was different between those instances and this instance is I felt Keegan was still aggressive. He was still trying to attack. He was still shooting the basketball. The shot just stopped falling. And I know, Matt, don't give him the out. He needs to hit those shots if he's going to be a go-to scorer. Oh, I agree. But the difference was, for me, Keegan didn't disappear. He just cooled down. And obviously the Spurs made some adjustments, but that wasn't the same thing to me as the many times in Keegan's career where we've seen him score 11, 12, 13 points in the first quarter and then take 2 shots the rest of the game. That wasn't this instance.
No, it wasn't. And that's the bonus of, okay, this guy is just getting back. And so, maybe at least we're going to probably see some sort of more consistency out of him with that role if he stays healthy. Let me just preface that. But I would like to, Matt, because I wasn't here when he was drafted.
Yep.
And, you did hear about when he first got here. I believe he was able to kind of be more consistent at the beyond the arc, I should say.
Best 3-point shooting rookie of all time in terms of total threes.
I still am a little perplexed on, what happened. Or, with players, I'm like, do you just lose that? Do you get defended differently since there's tape out on you after your first season? I'm still a little confused with him. Like you said, he hit the first 2. Usually when you're in a groove of some sort, especially coming out of the gate, you feel like you at least have a few more of those long, 3-point shots that you're going to hit throughout a game. I think he took 7. Was it
2 of 7.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 8. 2 of 8.
Okay.
To answer your question, I think it's a combination of multiple things, and you don't want to branch into excuse making. And I know people have brought up, well, DeMar DeRozan started taking shots away. There's a lot of excuses that have been made for Keegan Murray that are unnecessary and that he wouldn't make for himself.
Yeah.
I think the fact that he shot the ball as well as he did his rookie season at this point is an anomaly. He's not that good of a 3-point shooter. And maybe he kind of fooled us a little bit. Maybe he fooled himself a little bit too, because he wasn't even that good of a shooter in college.
Also, he was shooting a lot of corner threes.
Yes, he shot a lot of threes in the flow of the offense. There was with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis and how much attention they drew and the dribble handoff, and even Kevin Huerter out there. Kevin Huerter shot a monster 3-point percentage for the first half of the season, which took attention off of Keegan. There was a lot that went into Keegan getting a lot of wide open looks, and then he was just knocking them down consistently. But Keegan's game was also extremely limited. If Keegan wasn't shooting threes and making threes, defensively, he was fine.
Yep.
He didn't rebound enough for his position. That was one of Mike Brown's challenges to him. Keegan didn't score by putting the ball on the deck. He didn't do it. He didn't score off the dribble. He was just a catch and shoot 3-point specialist that had upside on the defensive end. That summer, he goes into an offseason where he became Uncle Keegs. And Uncle Keegs is he spent almost every day, seriously, he spent every day with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox and Keegan became really, really close.
That's how they became friends.
Yes.
Okay.
They became super close. Played one-on-one against each other basically the entire offseason.
Okay.
And suddenly, Keegan shows tremendous development as a defensive player. Suddenly, Keegan is the guy that the Kings are looking to guard Steph Curry in a lot of situations. Suddenly, Keegan is the guy that's guarding opposing teams' best guards. He made this tremendous jump defensively while his offensive numbers started to dip. But what we're also seeing now, we're currently seeing a benefit for Keegan Murray from that summer. Keegan's best shot, his go-to shot right now, is that mid-range dribble pull-up.
Yep.
That is his go-to shot. He is very efficient at it.
Most comfortable with that shot. Yep.
That shot he directly developed against De'Aaron Fox.
That's actually fascinating. I did not know that full story. By the way, I saw the pictures after the game with the kid.
Uncle Keegs.
Uncle Keegs. And so I'm glad I got to hear that story. That's pretty incredible, too, to take it upon yourself to really just put in that extra work.
Yeah.
And with a guy like Fox, who is going to push you.
Well, you're spending every day guarding the fastest player
really
in the league.
Interesting.
So it's a long roundabout way of answering your question. I think as Keegan got significantly better in certain areas, rebounding the basketball too, his shooting kept going down. The first year was such an anomaly that it made the high 30s seem strange. And now we're struggling to be in the 30s at this point.
Everybody, I feel like.
We gotta get that back up, Keegan. We gotta get that back up. But we still have a lot more to talk about. Malik Monk had a good game. Devin Carter seems like he's out of the rotation and may continue to be with the addition of Killian Hayes, at least on a 10-day contract. I thought Nick Clifford had some good moments defensively, but still looking for more offensively. But coming up next, we'll talk about DeAndre Hunter being out for the season with he had eye surgery. Look, I think this is a lot more legitimate than some of the other surgeries that we're seeing around the league to shut players down. We'll talk about that and more. We're just getting started here. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Join Sactown Sports Downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
There's the hard way to buy a car, and then there's the Hoblet way. Transparent prices, fast paperwork, and a team that's there to help, not hover. We've spent 77 years refining this process so you can get in, get out, and get driving with zero drama. Car buying doesn't have to be stressful. At least, not when you do it the Hoblet way. Experience the difference at HobletDodge.com. The easy way to buy.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
I said I'd be more positive, and I'm trying to, damn it. I'm trying.
You're being very positive.
There was a lot about the Spurs game, truly, that I liked. But we got off the air on Friday. Very frustrated, Matt, after how Thursday's game went, if you remember, when the Kings lost their 15th? Yeah, 15th straight in historical bad fashion. They all blend
I've
together at this
lost
point.
track of time.
It's been poopy for a while.
Unfortunately, it happened right as our show started, too.
Yep.
It's like you guys got on the air 4-game win streak, then 16-game losing streak.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that 4 games, so I feel we lived it up.
Do you remember when we were panicking that they were winning too much?
We did.
Idiots.
We shouldn't have panicked.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
No.
Never should have panicked.
By the way, I saw your tweet, and I was just like, oh, Matt's going through something.
No, dude, I was...
What was it? I missed it.
I just said, I tweeted, genuinely, I got home, and I was like, and the DeAndre Hunter thing broke.
Right when you got
and
home,
and I said, an instant, I'm home alone. My kid's not home. My wife's not home. And I literally just went,
oh no,
damn it. And I just spiked something. Because I was like DeAndre Hunter and Keegan Murray was that's something that I'm looking forward to.
I warned you though. I said that. I'm like, Matt, this has been happening all year.
Well, and we heard DeAndre practiced after All-Star break. and looked fine.
I thought it was going to be okay.
Our own Brendan Nunez is out there talking to him, and he's like, I'm looking forward to being back. It seemed like there was a chance he would play that night against Orlando. Okay, he doesn't play.
Right.
All right. It'll take a little time, but we're going to see it. It's right around the corner. So I'm getting my hopes up. At least we'll see DeAndre and Keegan together in some capacity. Nope, eye surgery. He's done. LOL, idiot. And I just had this moment just this season sucks, and it's like affecting me how much it sucks. And the last 14 months have affected me with how much this team has just fallen from grace. We were so used to losing for so long in Sacramento because of the playoff drought. And then they had that taste of the playoffs and the Beam team.
It gave you hope.
And it almost made it worse because not only we tasted it and you want more of it, now you crave it. It's not how quickly they went from finally to back in the pits of hell to now to a position to where it feels like it's never been this bad.
You know what I describe it as for those of us who are potato fans? I don't know about you. I loved anything potatoes, but I love potato chips. It's like a bag of potato chips. When you go to the store and you get a bag and you're just craving it. Now, if I open up a bag, I'm likely going to sit down and I'm probably going to finish it in a setting or in one seating.
Sure.
But the whole bag is it looks big and the bag is all full of air.
Yeah, it's all air, yeah.
It's like you get that first taste of it and then you're like, but I want more.
Yeah.
And then you can't because it's all air. And that's they're the Lay's potato chips of the NBA.
At least I can go to the store and buy chips. Where do I go buy wins, damn it?
You're not allowed to go to the store and buy them.
I can't.
You're forbidden.
Whoever's selling them, I'll buy.
By the way, so at 3:06 p.m. on Friday, Matt George tweeted out, "I truly hate all the negativity and loathe how it's influenced my content over the last 14 months."
No, you're right. Why he's reading it that way?
I don't know. Just
It's very Shakespearean.
That's a very honest tweet.
Sports are supposed to be joyful and fun.
Yep.
I miss that.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Paragraph break. "A sincere thank you to everyone who has supported or put up with my career transition."
Yeah. Because I've heard the feedback. It's negative. Well, it's hard to be positive about a team that's been this way. It's just tough.
You can only do so much.
And someone who's been in the trenches, and I don't have now I am blessed to do what I do. I don't have the luxury of being able to turn the game off.
Yeah.
I want to sometimes.
Not when you cover a team.
And God bless Kings fans that just can go, you know what, I'm done for this year. I'm checking out. Hit me up when the draft lottery starts. If that's you, first off, thank you for listening to the show. Appreciate you. Hopefully we can fill you in on what you've missed. Not a lot, but we'll fill you in.
Hopefully we can make you feel good.
Well, as much as we can.
We'll attempt
possibly. But genuinely, I was realizing this, DeAndre Hunter being out for the season really doesn't matter that much. But it at home alone, I was pissed. And I'm like, you know what? We need to stop this. Just chill a little bit, Matt. So it was like a moment of self-reflection and a commitment going forward to, I personally want to try and be a little more, not optimistic necessarily. There's not a lot about this team that I'm optimistic about, period.
Right.
But maybe just stop searching for the negative so hard when it's everywhere and instead try and point out the positive.
It's not going to help anything necessarily at this point. To be negative.
Sure.
I mean, it can help to think of things you can do that can keep you going, right? And DeAndre Hunter, though, I understand. That's the point, though. DeAndre Hunter kind of was one of those small little pieces that you were just looking forward to seeing him paired up with Keegan Murray because, by the way, Keegan Murray is finally back.
Yep.
And so I understand that if you're a Kings fan, you're trying to grasp onto every single thing you can to find some positivity in the rest of the 23-something games
24
remaining.
now?
Yeah. And when that then gets taken away from you, and by the way, there were 3 surgeries had last week. I don't know if Hunter has actually had his surgery.
Oh, no, yeah, he had it.
Okay, so 3 surgeries had last week, which is wild when it's in its own right. It gets you down in the dumps a little.
Yeah. But I will say the DeAndre Hunter surgery, this is legitimate. People.
Oh, I have nothing wrong with this.
This is very legit. I know, and every surgery in its own right is legitimate. If you have something that requires surgery, it is legitimate to some extent. We all believe that had the Kings been in if they were in a race right now, or if their games mattered, Domantas Sabonis would be playing through the partially torn meniscus. I think Zach LaVine would have been playing through his 5th finger injury, his pinky injury. I couldn't tell you about DeAndre Hunter because he literally got scratched in the eye.
I don't mess with eyes, by the way.
What happened was, at least according to the information that we've gotten, is he was reevaluated, and they found a detached retina, which can literally cause blindness if you don't take care of it.
Sure.
And they went and took care of it because now is the appropriate time to. This is not a, well, DeAndre, you're fine, but you know what? Let's just shut you down anyway because we're trying to lose basketball games. DeAndre Hunter coming in, the Kings were going to all of a sudden start winning. At least I don't think. Maybe we would have. It's disappointing from a fan standpoint because, again, we wanted to see what the hell did we trade Keon Ellis for?
Right.
What the hell did we get in that Cleveland Cavaliers deal? Well, now we won't be able to see any of it, and we're going to get to see Keon and Dennis Schroeder playing for a playoff team. Like, I feel that frustration for Kings fans for sure.
Yeah.
But this DeAndre thing is very legit.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to, too. By the way, now I feel even more horrible with our Traders game that we played on Friday. I was calling him, the one-eyed pirate because I was just joking. I didn't know that he wasn't coming back this season.
You're fine, Kayla.
In all seriousness, I take things more than anything extremely serious when it comes to surgery.
Yes.
Because that is just something you do not want to mess with. But I think in a way he could be an easy target for those who are already frustrated with this season and this team to be like, are you kidding me? This guy is brand new to Sacramento. Now he's going to have eye surgery. I would just say give him a little grace because that is one thing you never want to mess with. And if he goes and gets a second opinion or he goes and gets it reevaluated and they tell you that, like, you go get that surgery ASAP.
Yeah, it's not give him a little grace in my mind. It's give him every bit of it. We saw in real time what happened. We saw him bleeding from the eye.
That just makes me look.
We saw his eyeball get scratched in Sacramento on the home floor. Like, there's no like questioning whether or not it's a legitimate injury. We didn't see Zach LaVine hurt his pinky. He just suddenly started missing games with a pinky injury, and now he has surgery.
That's so weird.
I understand people rolling their eyes and poking jokes at that, and
I see what you did there.
I don't think the injury is that significant. It required surgery.
Zach Levine's.
Okay.
Yes,
I don't think it's that significant. Yeah. It required surgery. Fine, take care of it now. Because now is the time to take care of it. That, to me, is completely different than this DeAndre Hunter situation.
Yeah, I agree.
And even Domantas Sabonis is, to some extent, the reason why people are like, all up in arms about the Domantas Sabonis situation is because we saw him come back and try to play multiple games on that partially torn meniscus. We know he probably could have kept playing if he wanted to, but it makes no sense for him, makes no sense for the Kings. They want Max and Dylan Cardwell, who's now out for 4 weeks because, of course. But we wanted to see Max and them get the opportunity. The season's a wash anyway. Domas, go get right. Maybe we trade you, maybe we don't. That makes sense. The DeAndre Hunter situation is, to me, completely separate. Dude got scratched in the eyeball, and he needs to take care of it.
Yeah, I think at this point, Matt, I really do feel like in other situations, I would have been so frustrated with guys just being given the surgery pass. I don't know why I don't feel like this at this point. I'm like, everybody? I don't care. Go have your surgery. Yeah. You all can talk about how we're tanking, but what would you do? Like, I'm sorry. What would you do if you were in the situation where we don't play good basketball? We haven't played good basketball. At some point, we just have to give these minutes to these youngsters and not have to worry about these other guys just sitting on the bench. Oh, by the way, we do need to have the most value. If we do decide to do things with these guys, we need them 100% healthy.
By the way, De'Aaron Fox did this last season, too. People forget.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so De'Aaron had his hand injury that he suffered in training camp with the Kings last year.
Got it.
That affected how he was playing, and he demanded his trade. He didn't. I didn't demand a trade, but we know how it played out. He goes to San Antonio, plays a handful of games with San Antonio, and then
no pun intended.
Yes, well, I guess pun very intended. He plays his return game to Sacramento, in which Zach LaVine goes crazy, and the Spurs get destroyed by the Kings in that game. And
also, I think Wemby went out with blood clots.
Yeah, Wemby was out with a blood, but that's legit. That's a big deal,
right? But the Spurs weren't. There was nothing to play.
Exactly. The Spurs then weren't the Spurs now. And so they shut De'Aaron Fox down to have his hand surgery so that he'd be good to go to start this season. He was still a little bit late to the start of the season, if you remember, and now he's fine and nobody's talking about it. This is common. This happens all the time. The Kings are just doing it in flux, one, because of the position that they're at, and two, because this damn team gets hurt walking out the door.
I know. It's like if any kind of injury could happen this year, it has happened to the Kings. By the way, did any of you guys see I don't know if you guys, like, if he's been like this with you guys. I personally have met him and I love him, but I get it if he has taken shots at you. Did you see Charles Barkley talk about how he just doesn't understand how the Kings can't win one game in this, 15-game losing streak?
I saw. I didn't listen.
It's like they just do Globetrotter things against this team out there.
Well, yeah, teams know the Kings are an easy opponent. I love Chuck. I have no problem with Chuck saying any of that because it's true. I personally didn't hear it, but I mean,
yeah, he mentioned it the other day.
Losing 15 games is now 16 games is not easy to do, but here the Sacramento Kings are. We'll take the break. When we come back, it's Monday. That means it's time for Q&K with Kayla Anderson. Then we'll get into college basketball. Darren Peterson spoke on missing games. And A.J. DeBonsa might be the new consensus #1 overall pick. We'll discuss and more coming up on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com, driving business forward. Paramount Pictures and Spyglass Media Group present Scream 7. When a new ghost-faced killer emerges in the quiet town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, Sidney must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. Starring Neve Campbell, Isabel May, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, with Matthew Lillard, Joel McHale, and Courtney Cox. In theaters February 27th.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T-level for free. For your free T-level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's time for Q&K. Kayla's got questions. We've got answers. It's Q&K on Matt and Kayla.
Well, just found out my mom is listening. No, Mom, I do not like the periodic table. It sucks. My mom used to make me like learn songs that we'd make up to remember certain things in science.
Sure.
Didn't work, Mom. Didn't work. Look at me now. Look what your son does. Aren't you proud?
He's just putting it to a different type of use.
Yeah. To me, the periodic table I don't have a joke. I don't know.
There was like a president song. There was the United States, like naming all the states that we did a song to.
I know a song for books of the Bible.
See? Look at
Because I went to Jessup University. I am technically a Bible minor. I have a minor in Bible. It's not a joke. It's a real thing.
So you could just like tell me just different.
If I retain the information, kinda.
Well, I mean, you minored in it.
I did minor in it, but I'm an English major. I wrote way too many papers.
Not a bad thing.
And look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now.
Yelling about DeAndre Hunter and negativity.
Yeah, well.
Gotta give the people what they want.
Thanks, Kings. Well, the people want Q&K. That's what the people want. So why don't we get to some Q&K with Kayla Anderson?
All right. So I'm going to take this in an interesting direction today.
Oh.
Because I have my Olympic minute, and we've got a lot in terms of, what's happened the past few days and closing ceremonies and what do we end up with medal count. But I just felt like I wanted to incorporate a little bit of what happened on Sunday morning.
Yes.
Because it was really incredible.
Yes.
If you got up and actually watched the game live. I know it was early, and I'm not going to fault you if you didn't watch it live. I personally got up and watched it live because I felt like I would never have a moment like that if they won.
Kayla supports America.
I do.
Even if it's at 5 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, why not? So anyway, the United States, you all know now, won in overtime, beating Canada 2-1.
They did? Wow.
It was incredible. Yeah, Jack Hughes. By the way, there's 2 sets of brothers on this USA team, which is also really cool that you could win something like this and have this moment with your brother.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like that's insane. So Jack Hughes had the game-winning goal in overtime.
Insane.
He had his whole grill out.
Yes.
Like he had got 4 teeth knocked out. Only in hockey can you do that. And they won their first gold since 1980, which is obviously the big miracle on ice.
Woo!
Yeah. So,
why? What happened then?
Just one of those big-time moments for U.S. But it was really cool, guys, because I think it gave the U.S. a moment, and us as a country, to just like feel good about something. Like we're all celebrating something together, right? I'm going to get to my question, but I wanted to build it up.
Keep going.
They also honored the late, great Johnny Gaudreau, who was tragically killed last year in an accident with his brother. They brought the kids on the ice. It was incredible. Like all the emotions in the world. And I started thinking, man, people are watching this sport maybe for the first time or getting a really good feel of the sport. We've talked about other sports coming to Sacramento, MLB, MLS. Do you guys feel that this city would embrace and could support and would want to support an NHL team?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
And I want the listeners chiming in here because a lot of this has to do with Bay Area. They already have all their established fans that are up here, 49ers, Giants, A's. But I don't feel like San Jose is as crazy of a like we're Sharks fans and we can't be anything else. I just feel like they don't have enough here. And an NHL team would almost just fit right.
Oh, I think an NHL team would make a ton of sense in Sacramento. I don't think it's ever going to happen necessarily, but I absolutely think, to me...
Why wouldn't it happen? I ask you that much.
Well, unless maybe there's NHL expansion or anything like that, but obviously Sacramento has their attentions on the MLB as much as they possibly can right now and trying to put together as good of a bid as possible. Not necessarily to keep the A's, although cross your fingers that something falls apart in Las Vegas, but more like, hey, do we move now up to the front of the line in terms of expansion because we've shown you what we can do in Sacramento and we have these plans in place and blah, 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 blah. I think the city of Sacramento is very, and West Sacramento too, very focused on baseball.
But maybe it's time to move on to something different.
And there was the MLS attempt a number of years ago that got really, 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 really close, and then everything kind of fell apart, unfortunately. They're building a brand new stadium for the Republic, and USL is trying to create essentially their own version of the MLS, so soccer is certainly a thing here. But to me, like, I personally have never been to a NHL game. I've been told I'm insane for not doing that, especially with my boy Macklin Celebrini just down the road. I gotta go check him out.
Which, by the way, he had a great tournament.
But I've been told that Stanley Cup playoffs, like, there's nothing like it in sports, and the crowd atmosphere and the energy, and to me that just screams Sacramento.
It does.
Like, I think Sacramento could fill a venue that's like, they're not massive venues, right?
No, and you can build them a little bit more comparable to like what you need in a city like this.
Yeah.
And Columbus, Ohio, I covered the Blue Jackets there for 3 years. Columbus is a major, it's like a very interesting city like you guys. Like, they have a college football team there that they love, like the Kings. Like, you guys are obsessed with the Kings here. They're obsessed with college football. But hockey works there.
Yeah.
And they make hockey work. And I feel like that you guys have the fandom here to support, like, especially an NHL team.
I think, personally, I feel that Sacramento would do a better job naturally supporting an NHL team than they would an MLB team if the A's were here full-time or vice versa. I've always kind of felt that way. I think hockey makes a lot of sense here. There was a time when there was a potential of hockey being here, although it was not very major, and I don't know the full history of it. But regardless, like, I think Sacramento would be fantastic for hockey. Sacramento will embrace whatever sport comes and embraces them back.
Sure.
We know this. The A's are a little late to that, but they're trying now.
Yeah, and it's a closed venue, like, in terms of inside, so you don't have to worry about too hot, too cold. Like, it's a controlled environment. Kyle, I'm curious. I know you probably have an opinion on this.
So this is when I first started working at the radio station, so it must have been the summer of 2022.
Yeah.
I remember, like, Vivek was connected to the Ottawa Senators sale or something like that. Not like he ever, like, publicly was like, I'm doing this, but like some Canadian outlet reported that he had inquired about the sale of the Senators, and that was kind of the start of hockey talk in Sacramento, and then it never became a thing. So, like, in a sense, that's feasible, but yeah, I mean, Sacramento would probably support it, but practically there's too many hurdles for them to clear. One of the things I learned about it, too, is that when they built Golden One Center, it had the specific configurations to basketball, and hockey literally could not fit. They would have to, like, rip out seats in the arena and reconfigure it to make hockey work. So
they would have to build their own place.
Sure.
Yeah, and so logistically, it probably wouldn't work unless someone bought a hockey team, moved it to Sacramento, and was willing to
build.
privately finance a hockey arena.
I don't even know. They're the same. Like, someone brought up in the chat, like, they are somewhat the same season.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if that would work to have.
Well, also the NHL like wants to use already NBA ready arenas. They like the multi-purpose usage of it, but
I know a lot of NBA teams though don't like having ice under the hardwood.
No,
a lot of teams not a fan of it.
It could become a little bit of it. I mean, it can be done, but it can become a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, we see a ton of teams do it. They do it in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
They do it in the TD Garden in Boston. So it's very common, but I just know, speaking from people that I've heard talk about it, they're like, yeah, having ice underneath has complications that we're just not a huge fan of.
We don't want to go that extra mile. But honestly, you look at all of the people, at least in the YouTube chat, and maybe if you're listening, you have your own opinion. But it looks like a lot of people would be excited to support an NHL team. And I'm only bringing that to the table just because I loved being able to see the sport on display at a national level. And again, it's growing in the U.S. and youth hockey. Why U.S. has the team it does is because youth hockey has grown at such a great rate. And that's so encouraging for a sport that kind of gets lumped in kind of the bottom part of the professional sports in the country. So.
We had a minor league minor league hockey team in Stockton for a while. The Stockton, I think Heat is what they were called. And they were around for a while. Just actually recently left.
Yeah.
I think they moved to Canada, if I'm not mistaken. But that was supported really well.
By the way.
There's a lot of love for Stockton hockey.
It's a great sport.
So I think it would absolutely do well here. I just don't know if it's ever going to happen. But really quickly, from the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube stream from 1970, Ronan, question for Matt. Any info on the Kings' new signings? We will talk about them. We're talking about Killian Hayes and Patrick Baldwin Jr., who the Kings added. That's coming up at noon during lunch break. Also a great conversation about Maxime Reynaud as the future center of the Sacramento Kings. But coming up next at 11 o'clock, Darren Peterson spoke about missing games. We'll hear what he had to say. Plus, is AJ DeBonsa now the number one pick? The guy that everyone is expecting to be taken number one overall, as he leapfrogged Darren Peterson in that spot. We'll talk about that. Plus, Kingston Flemings, Cam Boozer all had good weekends. It's all coming up on NBA Draft Talk here. Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149. Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated. And with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
Program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Emran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby insight and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Bar None Auction, Sky River Casino, and Trex Decking and Railing. More info at CITPfest.com.
Join Sactown Sports downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
KHDK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Well, if you're looking for good basketball to watch over the weekend, you probably weren't watching the Kings too much. Although I did feel the Kings and Spurs game was entertaining at certain points, and the Spurs are a very good, very exciting, very young team that I expect is going to be making some noise for a Western Conference Finals run. Well, it all depend on how the playoff bracket shapes up in the in the NBA Western Conference. But if we get a Spurs Thunder series, oh please, just give us the Spurs Thunder series.
I know, right?
Hopefully it's in the Western Conference Finals. But regardless, there was some really good college basketball this weekend, including Kansas, the University of Kansas, taking on Cincinnati. Unfortunately, the game didn't end up being that great. Cincinnati rolled over
That was
Kansas.
an upset.
Yeah, big time. 84-68, the final score. What was interesting about that game, though, Kayla, is Darren Peterson played 32 minutes, 32 out of 40 possible minutes. He scored 17 points. Not the greatest shooting performance for him. 7 of 17 from the field, 1 of 7 from three-point range. Did also only have 1 assist. That's the thing with Darren Peterson, is he doesn't play make for others. He's just a pure scorer. And he's a damn good one. I said when we were talking about Peterson last week, I said I want to see him play in games where he struggles, and I want to see him continue to play through, because I want to see how he works through that and what it looks like, because we know he's human. He's not going to be perfect on a nightly basis.
Right.
And we got that. So to some extent, I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
We just would now like to see a 32-minute performance where if you're red hot in the first half, like he was a couple games ago against, I can't remember who it was, play 32 minutes so that you can have a 38-point night. Like, if you're that hot, show it over the course of a full game. We got a glimpse of it, and then Darren Peterson spoke or had an interview with a ESPN writer. Let me see if I can find it, because I want to make sure to give him the credit that he deserves. Oh,
so he sat down and did this, or he was asked, like, maybe
I'm sure it was like in a scrum situation or something. Myron Metcalf.
Myron Metcalf. Yeah,
Myron.
yeah. Big time college basketball. Right?
Yeah, Myron spoke with him.
Yep.
And Peterson was asked about not playing games or
and
sitting out of
rightfully
games.
so.
And he said, everyone's got an opinion on it, but basketball is my life. If I could have been out there every game this year, I would have. If you would have asked me last year what were my goals for this year, I would never mention missing games. So all this stuff kind of just happened, but I've got to deal with it.
What happened, Darren Peterson? What happened? You have an issue with cramps? Like, if that's the thing and it's some kind of chronic cramp thing, okay, is that it? Or is it the fact that you've got people in your ear and you're doing what you're told to do? Is that why you can't? Is it because you are nursing an injury? Like, that doesn't do it for me. And I know that I'm hard on this kid, but I am not going to shy away from just because now he's gotten heat and now he's getting heat at national level. And when someone asks him to explain it, he gives kind of a half you-know-what answer.
Yep.
Like, I get it, man, and I hope you prove me wrong. I truly do, because I love good talent, and I want there to be a plethora of it in the NBA.
Yep.
And I want the Kings to get somebody like that if they could, if he is going to actually play games and not just do it on, the times that he wants to do it. And these are the games, like, you're playing Cincinnati. Okay, great. Like, this is a game, again, non-ranked Cincinnati team. Like, he plays 32 minutes. Cool. Awesome. I give him credit for that. But it's still not showing me, like, what you are as a competitor against all those big matchups you've had an opportunity to play a full game against. I'm not still okay with the Darren Peterson experiment this year.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of injuries, these are the list of injuries that he's had at any given time over the course of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Persistent hamstring strain, a right ankle sprain, and reoccurring severe quad cramping, Plus, he had an illness too, but that was kind of an offhand thing. But those are the injuries that he's talking about. And when I read that quote, to me, his like everybody has an opinion on me missing games, but I've missed games because of a plethora of these injuries that have nagged at me. That's the interpretation that I have of what Darren Peterson said. Sure. I'm not choosing to miss games. I've had these random little multiple injuries come up that have kept me out. I'm sure Darren Peterson would look at it the same way that we look at Keegan Murray's season, where Keegan had the hand issue, then he had the back issue, then he had the shoulder issue, or then he had the ankle or whatever. Like just a plethora of different injuries that has completely derailed Keegan's season. The difference to me between those, though, is like Keegan's injuries were to a point where he could not play. Yeah. Darren continued to play, and not only did he continue to play, he played at an extremely high level. Mm-hmm. So it's a glass half full, glass half empty way of looking at it, Kayla. The glass half full is, damn, if he's this good and he's not 100%, man, imagine how good he will be when he is 100%. And then the glass half empty is, are you really that hurt? Because you're putting up these numbers and then it looks like you're checking yourself out of basketball games.
Yeah, I'd say the latter is more what it looks like. And maybe that's I'm set in my ways on this situation. Yeah. I think the telling thing that happened recently that I don't fully buy that is because his coach was shocked. His coach was shocked that much that he's like, I didn't expect him not to play. I didn't expect him to check himself out of the game, essentially. Yeah. Like, that's where the line was drawn for me to be like, okay, I can give this guy a little bit more grace until we see him play in March Madness. And again, I'm not fully going to just cut him out of the picture. I'm not going to do that. That'd be stupid of me to do.
He's a top 2 pick.
Right. But I have major red flags that continuously, like, are waving. Like, and just because he played one game for 32 minutes and he talked to Metcalf after the game and gave him some sort of a half kind of answer doesn't mean I'm going to feel all of a sudden better about a guy than you have other guys going out there on a nightly basis helping their teams win games against the biggest teams or the biggest matchups of the week. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, okay, wait a second. One doesn't look like the other. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm getting at, too.
Yes. We're going to talk about A.J. Debonsa in just a second. I'm going to simultaneously read the tea leaves while also giving Darren Peterson the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see where I end up, because I think I know where I'm going to end up on this. Reading the tea leaves is, I think Peterson has dealt with some minor bumps and bruises, and I use that as a overarching statement to talk about the injuries that he's dealt with. I do believe there have been some things that have ailed or hurt Peterson or bothered Peterson this season to a certain extent. Giving Peterson the benefit of the doubt, to me, is simply, okay, I don't want to risk potentially re-aggravating these injuries in any kind of way, making them worse in any sort of way. So by playing a half, showing what I can do, keeping my draft stock where I want it, and then sitting out the rest of the game, I'm smart. I'm playing it smart. So that's me giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Can I ask one more thing about that?
Sure.
Can I also add in, which I am not naive to this, I think it might not even be 100% his decision.
Oh, no.
I think he has people in his ear that could be telling him, hey, DP, like, we don't need you to play. Like, hey, listen to us, dad, mom, people around him, agents, whatever it might be. Hey, you might want to play, but you ain't playing. And we need you to take our advice, because a lot of these people listen to the people that surround them, especially when these young men have a lot of money.
I'm looking up right now the difference between the number 1 and number 2 overall pick in the NBA with that base contract. What the difference is, because we're talking. That's what we're talking about. The money part of it. Yeah, we're talking about the money. That's the incentive. There's a little bit of. I mean, it's the outlook. If you're the number 1 player, you're considered to be the best player in the draft class. So there's a little of the title to it.
Oh, yeah.
But the money, first year, we're just going to talk first year salary.
Okay.
Is $13.8 million for the number 1 overall pick.
Okay.
For the second overall pick, it is roughly $12.3 million.
So about $1 million something difference.
This is according to Forbes.
Sure.
Yeah, and then of course it's the back end money is different too, because it goes up every single year. The 2 team options at the end of the contract, which these teams will always exercise, because then you'll keep their bird rights and then you'll assign them to their new deal. Blah 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 blah. So there is a financial incentive to want to be number one versus number two, of course.
Yeah.
Even if I'm trying to give Darren Peterson the benefit of the doubt, it does not change from the Sacramento Kings perspective the reality of Darren Peterson's prioritizing me over we. Again, I get it. Life-changing money, mouths to feed, agents who are in your back pocket or behind you going, this is what we got to do. Family, friends. I can't even imagine being a superstar basketball player who's already making NIL money and who's going to make NBA money, and all these people are coming out of the woodworks trying to get their piece of the pie. Like, I can't even imagine what that's like to go through. In fact, I've seen through covering high school athletes, even a small percentage of what that is on a much smaller scale, and it's gross. And we've heard stories of NBA players and other professional athletes basically going broke because there's leeches that are just taking over their life. We've seen this. So I do not understand everything and every outside voice or incentive or anything that Darren Peterson is going through specifically. All I can look at is his circumstance and what's happening at Kansas, a really good program that is expected to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament, and the Sacramento Kings, a really bad organization, low-hanging fruit around the league, who's going to take multiple years to get to a point where they can really call themselves that relevant.
Yeah.
And I still have the same concerns about Darren Peterson and how committed he would be to what he would have to do here, which is be the guy, the face of the city, the face of the franchise that gets them there. That's always been my hesitation with Darren Peterson, not the talent.
No, God, the talent, no. I mean, come on now. We got eyes.
Yeah.
We got eyes. We're watching what's happening on when he does play. And I've said it on the show. I said I think he's more electric than AJ, just watching him. Like, just different style, right? Different style. Like, he's a little more fun to watch sometimes, Darren Peterson is. But this is like, it's like a sprint, not a marathon. You always hear that. Like, it's about, like, getting you to the long term of what this organization needs to be.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know if that is the guy, if there are so many questions right now around his actual love and, what he's going to be able to give the Kings and this franchise right now that is going to be kind of resetting. Mm-hmm. And I also wonder too, guys, gals out there, that, Darren Peterson, if he was really dealing with all these nagging injuries and afraid to play a full game, then shut him down. Shut him down, because if he's really worried about going out there and re-injuring something then you're really in trouble, bro. So that does not necessarily make a lot of sense to me.
And at worst, if you shut him down, the furthest he falls is 3.
Exactly.
But that might be too far for them.
But don't say that then, that you're dealing with, and that is why because then you're I don't care if you play 30 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. You're going out there and you're playing and you're taking the risk then if it's really an injury thing, or you're really worried about how to manage all this stuff. You're taking a risk putting your body out there even for 30 minutes. I think if they shut it down and just said, hey, we want to be careful, we'd at least be like, okay, maybe we get it.
Well, and I'm at the point too, Kayla, where everybody knows, or those who have been listening to the show know how much of a fan I am of AJ DeBonsa. Yeah. And I always had this feeling of AJ's my favorite prospect for the Sacramento Kings, but I don't know if he's the best prospect in the draft.
Sure.
I think AJ DeBonsa is the best prospect in this draft. Period.
Are you convinced after this weekend?
I think Darren Peterson is I was convinced, I think, before this weekend.
That he was the best overall?
Yes.
Because I know people are switching after this weekend to AJ.
Well, and most people are switching because of the red flags of Darren Peterson, not the talent. Yeah. I'm here to tell you, I think AJ DeBonsa is going to be a more talented, better basketball player in the NBA than Darren Peterson is. Mm-hmm. I believe that. Mm-hmm. I believe Darren Peterson is a absolute superstar scorer, that if you want to put his ceiling as Kobe Bryant or anything like that, feel free to. Although Kobe was a psychopath. That's why Kobe got where he's gotten.
Work ethic with Kobe?
Mamba mentality? You think Darren Peterson's got Mamba mentality?
That is screaming Mamba mentality to me.
Be my guest. AJ DeBonsa looks like a complete package to me. He's got the size. He's got the athleticism. He can score. The three-point shot needs to get better, but it's solid enough. Mm-hmm. He can score from that mid-range. He has that Kevin Durant reach. I don't know if he's going to be Kevin Durant, but he has that kind of potential. He has Kawhi Leonard potential. Yeah. He has Jaylen Brown potential. Those are the 3 names that I think of every time I watch AJ DeBonsa play, and I believe fundamentally, defensively, he will get better because he has all the intangibles. Sure. He has all the things you don't need to teach. Now you just need to add the NBA defensive game from the perimeter on top of that. He's interchangeable. He can play at the 3. He can play at the 4. If you're lucky enough to go really, really big, you can play him at the 2. Like, I think A.J. DeBonsa is the complete star potential package. Doesn't mean he's going to realize it.
Sure.
Like, I'm not predicting that A.J. DeBonsa is going to be a superstar in this league, although I feel very, 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 very close to being able to do that. That's why I believe he should go number 1 overall in this draft. The furthest he should fall is 2, and the Sacramento Kings need to walk out of draft lottery night with a top 2 pick, or they have no shot at getting him. And if they get number 2, they best hope that number 1 says, I don't care about all the noise about AJ or Darren Peterson. I'm taking him anyway. Like, AJ DeBonsa to me is the absolute 100% perfect prospect for everything the Sacramento Kings need.
Yeah.
All the intangibles, all the potential to be your face and your number 1 guy, room to grow with time on his side. Everything you could possibly want is there in AJ DeBonsa to me.
Yeah, I would say this. I'm not as crazy as you are with AJ.
That's healthy.
I'm a little bit more, just like I'm going to let the rest of the season play out with a few other of these guys. Now, I am way more on AJ than I am Peterson.
Yeah.
I'm kind of 1 foot out the door on Peterson. I'm almost 10 toes in on AJ DeBonsa. Okay. I just feel like, first and foremost, I am a character person.
Mm-hmm.
I want hardworking, hard-nosed, little chip on the shoulder, have room to grow, have room to prove yourself type of person.
Yep.
And when I look at AJ and the type of player he is in terms of the character, he fits all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The guy gets up for the biggest games. He helps us. They might not win every single big game this year, but they just won one against Iowa State where he looked dominant.
Yeah.
And just carried that. I liked to see him in that game and on their own home floor where he had a little bit of that swag.
Sure.
And that showed me almost a different type of him a little bit coming out of his shell because he is a little bit more quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not the flashy not as much as Darren Peterson is. No. But what he did, particularly this last weekend, and he played all 40 minutes.
Yep.
All 40 minutes. He is going out there and pretty much saying, I think I'm the number 1 overall pick.
Can I give
Take a chance on me.
Can I give the stat line really quick?
Because it's super impressive.
First off, I think BYU wants DeBonsa to play as much as possible because they realize he's their best chance to win, and they've dropped some games that they wanted to win.
Yeah.
Number 1. But number 2, I think it's very intentional by people around AJ DeBonsa going, hey, you're the biggest chance to steal that number 1 spot away from Darren Peterson. You know what you could do to change the perspective around you compared to him? You could play a lot because he's not doing that. So I think this is very tactical by those around AJ DeBonsa.
Why not?
AJ, 29 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal, and a block, to your point.
Yeah, exactly. So if you watched the game, and I was able to watch most of that game, you just kind of got a feel of like, man, this could be like what he could start to build in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And that, he would take, I feel like, the heaviness of the organization right now and needing someone to look to. Mm-hmm. Like, look, he was going to be the highest paid, I think he ended up being the highest paid college player. Like, he had his choice of a lot of different places to go. And when you know that that's like what is expected of you because you're being pretty much paid the most out of all these college players, and you have to go to some place and you actually have to deliver then, like, he's done that.
Mm-hmm.
He's done that. He's lived up to the hype, and he's done it in a place that it's like BYU is okay. Like, they're not like the basketball phenomenon.
Yeah, they're not Duke.
but he's made it something there, too.
Yeah.
He's made it something.
By the way, AJ DeBonsa's NIL valuation, $4.2 million.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I think it was like at the top.
Next, it's on 3, so we don't know for sure. But their
on
next
3's pretty legit.
They're pretty close. The next closest is JT Toppin at $2.8 million.
Hey, well, take that $4 million, enjoy it this year, and then come make $15 million as the number 1 overall pick.
So AJ DeBonsa's NIL package is double Cam Boozer's.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll talk about Cam Boozer in just a second.
Wow.
To me, AJ DeBonsa has the complete superstar potential when, again, the Kings are looking for a do-it-all guy who will change a franchise.
Yeah.
AJ is that for me. Cam Boozer, to me, is a freaking winner.
He is.
The dude's a winner. There's a reason why Duke just beat number 1 Michigan. Cam Boozer is a winning basketball
Pedigree.
player.
He has it in his fam, too.
Yes. If you're like, I've heard the cruise for booze or something like that, or lose for booze.
Lose for booze.
Lose for booze.
Baron for Darren.
If you're team Cam Boozer, I don't have necessarily an argument for you necessarily because he's a winning basketball player. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks. Huge win for Duke over Michigan. Duke was 3rd ranked going into the game. Michigan number 1.
Impressive victory.
Now a lot of people think that should be flip-flopped.
Sure.
Like Cam Boozer is a winning basketball player. And if you were to say, hey, Matt, picture this, right? Next season, your starting front court is Keegan Murray at the 3, Cam Boozer at the 4, Domantas Sabonis at the 5. I'm intrigued by that. I'm excited by that. I think that's a formidable front group.
Sure.
The hesitation that I've always had with Cam Boozer for, again, the situation that the Sacramento Kings are in, Kayla, is the Kings are looking for their generational star, their face. I've said it over and over again to a point where it's annoying at this point. And I believe Cam Boozer has star potential. But to me, Cam Boozer is the guy that you want if you're the Indiana Pacers.
There we go.
Because Cam Boozer goes to Indiana, healthy Tyrese Halliburton, lined up next to Pascal Siakam. That team is right back in the finals and maybe winning it all. Like Cam Boozer is that immediate impact type player. And what spooks me about Boozer is not Boozer specifically. It's if you plugged him in with Keegan and Domas and they all stayed healthy for a season, I think the Kings are pretty good. And that might trick some decision makers up there into thinking that they're ahead of schedule when they should not be.
And I also think to add to that, Matt, and tell me if I'm wrong, if this is also what you're kind of getting at, is I think if there's been any runway for a young player and a future face of the franchise player to grow with an organization, it's now. Like there is like a runway to make mistakes. There's a runway to get better. And I look at AJ DeBonta and I see the ceiling is higher for AJ to do some of those things and to get to that level. Where Boozer, I think he's a phenomenal talent. I think his ceiling's a little lower, and once he reaches that, it's like that's kind of what you're capped at.
The thing they say with players like Boozer, the floor is higher.
Yes.
You know Boozer's going to be a good player. He just might not have the superstar potential of the of an AJ or a Darren Peterson. But that's what the Kings are looking for versus when the Kings took Murray, the conversation between Murray and I'm blanking on his name. He's now with Jaden Ivey. Thank you. Now with the Chicago Bulls, is Jaden Ivey had this potential more superstar potential than Keegan. Never came close to realizing it. Is now, unfortunately, with the Chicago Bulls. Poor guy. But Keegan was the safer, higher floor pick, and he hasn't been a star in Sacramento necessarily, but that Beam team year, the first year that he was in the league, he really helped that team at that time. So I look at Cam Boozer as a better version of that.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And look, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be devastated if that's what happens and he comes here, but it's just like for the pick or the fit overall, it does seem to be more AJ.
Yes.
In terms of the fit right now with this organization, what it's going through, and a little bit more leniency to grow in it.
Yeah. To me, like AJ DeBonta should be number 1 overall. It's going to be a combination of AJ and Darren Peterson, number 1, number 2, unless maybe Indiana gets the second pick and then goes Cam Boozer route. I think, if I'm the Indiana Pacers, that's exactly who I'm targeting on. Just lose enough to get lucky enough to get Cam Boozer. Although I'm sure they'll take any of these top guys, of course. I would be disappointed in Cam Boozer only if AJ was on the board and the Kings took Cam over AJ. Yeah. But there's no way Cam Boozer's I'm frustrated the Kings have Cam Boozer. Just like I feel the same way with Kingston Flemings. Feel the same way. By the way, Houston and Kingston Flemings taking on Kansas and Darren Peterson tonight,
which I will be watching. On top of watching Kings.
Yep. So we'll be heading to that game's probably going to be a little more entertaining than Kings Grizzlies.
I would think
but
so.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
What, you don't want to watch Jalen Wells and insert other Grizzly here?
Yeah.
Hey, no hating on my Coug.
We'll see who
Oh, we love Jalen Wells.
We'll see who plays for Memphis tonight.
That guy.
We'll do the injury report for you later on in the show. But Kingston Flemings to me is encouraging or interesting as a point guard. To me, he should be a lock at 5.
Yeah.
I think Caleb Wilson is number 4, and I would also be thrilled if Caleb Wilson was the Sacramento King. Not as thrilled as AJ DeBonta, but if the Kings come out of draft night with either AJ DeBonta or Caleb Wilson, I think they've found the guy that they're looking for.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's a good year to be the Kings.
Yes.
To maybe not have as many mistakes that could happen.
Well, as we patiently wait for the draft, the NBA draft to get closer and closer, the NFL draft, that's coming up pretty quick. The NFL draft combine has begun, and for clueless NFL football fans like myself, that's why I turned to Kayla Anderson, our NFL expert. How much does the draft combine matter? And does it matter that Fernando Mendoza is not throwing during the combine? Kayla will fill us in on that coming up next. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Listen to the #1 sports lineup in Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt George, and Kayla Anderson. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Every weekday live and local 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Online at SactownSports.com or download the app right on your phone. Your #1 source for all your Northern California sports. Sactown Sports 1140.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Understand the importance of an NBA combine more than I'd understand an NFL combine, but at the same time, like the NBA combine is cool. I feel like the NFL combine, and maybe it's just because football is king, but I feel like the NFL combine is really looked at as we're going to find out some groundbreaking stuff about these prospects. I also know combine time is where a lot of conversations start to happen, where scout or GM pulls aside a offensive tackle that's slated to be in the 3rd round and go, hey, let's start to have this relationship. Let's start to build these conversations. It's all the behind-the-scenes stuff at combines that I'm more interested in than what we actually physically see, the drills, the times, and things like that. So, Kayla, as our NFL expert here and as someone who has covered the NFL extensively in multiple different markets, how did you always approach combine time? And more specifically, how did the teams that you cover approach combine time? How much value is there to take from this combine week, and how much should it matter or does it matter that players don't participate, like Fernando Mendoza, who will not be throwing?
Yeah, it's interesting. And what you said about you are more intrigued with what goes behind the scenes. I tell you right now, that is more so what these GMs, what these coaches, what these scouts are more interested in. The combine is something that is, a week for the most part. I know the activities start on Thursday. These guys get up there today. They do their measurements. They do their physicals. They start the grind of an incredible week. I have known many former athletes that have played in the league, and one in particular I used to do a podcast with. He was at Ohio State and in the league for a little bit. He told me how grueling this week was as an athlete, which they want that to be the case, because when you are getting in these interviews and one-on-one with GMs and coaches, and they're asking you some interesting questions where they really want you to have the pressure on you because they want to see you almost in a way at your weakest, because that is what you could be in times in the NFL. You could be going through injuries. You could be pressured in situations where you're on a losing team, and you have to be able to handle pressure. And I think that's kind of what they want to get out of these players in a week like this, getting to know who you are, maybe even sometimes at your weakest moments, because you're worn out. Like it's a week full of stuff. Now, look, do some of the things matter for some of the positions? Sure. There are things with the offensive line and defensive line. You want to see the quick feet. You want to see those like 3 cone drills with the big linemen, right? Those are things that do matter. Some quarterbacks can benefit from throwing. A guy like Fernando Mendoza doesn't need to throw.
Yeah.
Like, he's already proven that he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. He's not trying to separate himself from anybody. And I know that he had mentioned, too, like, I don't want to throw to people I don't understand or know in terms of how you run a route. I get that part of it. That doesn't benefit him to do that. He's going to throw at his pro day and help his guys out, and I get that. But it does help some quarterbacks that may be a 4th rounder that want to see their stock rise a little bit, and they decide to throw at the combine to some random wide receivers, and they have a good day, and it's like, okay, well, we might have him a little bit higher on the board there.
I feel like the combine is, and this is, you could say the same thing about the NBA combine too. I think it's made for the athletes. And what I mean by that is if your upside going into any league is your athleticism, that's your show-off week. I'm really fast. Check out this 40 time. Let's see how that can increase my draft stock. I have really good foot speed as a lineman. Let me show that off. Like, for what Fernando Mendoza is doing, in my mind, and what other top picks would probably do in the same position is, my draft stock is already as high as it's going to be.
Yeah.
The only thing I can do is lower it.
Exactly.
Right? And so that's why a lot of these guys don't like doing stuff like this in their non-controlled environments, because in the controlled environments, they want to show off exactly what they need to show off, if they even need to show it off. Fernando Mendoza the only thing Fernando Mendoza can do is have a really crappy pro day or a really crappy combine, and then there's a seed of doubt planted in the head of the Raiders, which I don't think would matter anyway.
And then the Raiders would still pick him number 1.
Well, it's because it's the right pick.
Right.
But, that's what's so weird about the combine to me is I feel like the combine is made for the middle rounds. The combine in the NBA, the combine is made for outside of the lottery. Even pre-draft workouts are made for that time.
Yep.
Because that's where you want to see very specific things about players that don't have all the attention on them to where they're already slated to go in certain spots.
Yeah, and look, I know we all, if we're going to watch something at the combine that's, going to be played from Thursday till Sunday, sporadically on the NFL Network, like, you'd want to watch the 40-yard dash, right? You want to see, like, how fast these guys are. I'm going to tell you right now, like, in some instances, it might matter a little bit.
A receiver or a corner?
Yeah, but really, to tell you the truth, and this is just me talking with GMs, talking with coaches, like former analysts or current analysts, like, it doesn't matter as much as we make it out to be, but you have to sell something. And the combine, it's a business, and it's part of the NFL churning money business.
It's football in the offseason to some extent.
So they're gonna sell it as, hey, we got the 40-yard dash. Who's the fastest guy in the draft? That's just all a part of it.
Sure.
When it comes down to it, does that specifically really matter, or how many bench presses someone can do? No, it is all what happens behind the scenes. And I have heard in several instances before instances, I should say.
Yep.
That guys have hurt their stock because of those one-on-one interviews. They've hurt their stock.
Yeah.
And that's what matters the most.
The conversations are the most important part, at least I know firsthand in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, that's where decisions are made.
Yeah.
It's the interviews.
Exactly. And look, they're not easy on these guys.
No.
I don't know what you've heard on the NBA side, but I've heard some crazy stuff's been asked.
Yeah.
About family life or what you've gone through.
Yes, because we want to know not just the player that we're acquiring, we want to know the person that we're acquiring, and we also want to know who's coming with you.
Mm-hmm.
But haven't those questions come under fire in recent years? Because some of them have been like so out of pocket that they're like, why would you ask that to someone?
Yeah, there has been a few.
I'm sure there is a bar that goes too far.
Yeah.
But let's think about this from this standpoint. A draft pick is a significant investment.
Yes.
And you want to know exactly what you are investing in. Now, to Kyle's point, I don't think you need to know everything there is to know about someone personally or anything like that. Just at some point, too far is too far.
Or what also happens is they'll ask shock value questions that are like, want to see how they react to it, but they also have, has been reported in the past, crossed the line many times.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that there's, like, you can't cross a line, but there was Brian Windhorst shared a quote that he got from a general manager who valued the number 1 pick in the NBA draft this year at $100 million. The pick, not the player, the pick, because of how valuable it is around the league. Putting that now in NFL standards. I don't know what the monetary value is of the 18th pick in the draft by whoever the hell owns it. But if I am the Cincinnati Bengals and I'm like trying to make a decision about Joe Burrow or my future, and I'm thinking, okay, do I go offensive line? Do I go receiver? Do I go something that is meant to commit to this last chance effort with Joe Burrow, or do I go in a completely different direction with someone who I'm thinking I'm restarting my franchise, a rebuild is coming, and these are going to be one of the important players as part of that rebuild? I want to have a one-on-one conversation with you, because if I'm going the Joe Burrow route and you're not, you're going to have the potential for whether it's off-field issues, which is always the extreme, or not as competitive as we were hoping, or whatever the case may be, and I use my top pick to commit to you on this time frame and it doesn't work out, like, I need to know certain aspects of that for the conversation that, or for the decision that I'm going to make.
Sure.
It's a very general situation that I'm talking about, or very general example. Again, you don't need to go as far as to like dissect everything personally about these players, but those conversations can make or break your decision to draft a player. And to a lot of organizations, a tremendous amount of talent does not supersede either bad attitude or certain red flags of a character or who's around these people.
Right.
We've heard stories, plenty of stories, especially now with NIL money and things like that. We've heard plenty of stories of parents who go too far, an uncle that negotiates with a fake tree company in Los Angeles. I don't know, like certain things that are concerning to organizations.
And I don't know what the NBA is like. I'm just kind of starting to fully embrace myself in NBA full time.
Yeah.
But I will say this about the NFL. Like, there is always going to be a team or an owner or a GM that feels they can fix a player.
100%.
And I think what is very, very tough about that is that you're talking about these, interviews and all this stuff. There are those few organizations, though, that this guy could have the most horrible interview or put up 16 red flags, and this organization thinks he's that talented on the field, which he probably is, that they're going to roll the dice on that. And I'm going to tell you right now, the example of this past year was Atlanta going up to get James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And look, we had heard things coming out of Tennessee about him. It wasn't a complete mystery. We were wondering why he was falling in the draft so much. And when they drafted him and traded up to get him, we're all wondering, like, wow, that's a risky situation. And unfortunately, the young man had a really poor incident and choice the last month or so. And now he might not be in the league. And guess what? Atlanta has lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they've lost a top-tier player.
And here's the thing, too, where we're talking about in the combine sense, the conversations, the interviews being more important than what happens on the field. Guys are going to have bad days on the field. I've heard stories. I've heard
100%.
a number of people that have gone to either Sac State or UC Davis that had bad pro days and have wanted to do it again because they fell off. The nerves got to them, having all those scouts there. They were just dropping passes, anything. Like, on the field mistakes happen all the time. You have superstars that have bad days at practice. If you mess up an interview or you have a bad, how do you have a bad day as an interviewer? Well, maybe if you're in a bad mood because something is distracting you at home, okay, but also part of the NFL lifestyle, as unfair it is, or the NBA lifestyle is, hey, you got to leave those problems at the door because you got a job to do.
Aren't we told to do that when we come in to do our jobs?
Right.
Like, we're TV, we're radio personalities. I can't remember how many times I've been told, I don't give a what's going on in your life, Kayla. You turn it on once the mic goes on or once the camera goes on.
Yeah, leave it outside.
Right?
Yep. check your ego at the door, whatever it may be. And that's multiplied tenfold for these athletes. So if you're going to screw something up during Combine week, you'd rather have a bad workout than a bad interview.
Yes.
And it's the same. In NBA, I think it's even more so because the NBA, one player can impact change more than in the NFL, unless it's like a franchise quarterback, smaller draft, smaller pool of players, right? But that's what's fascinating to me about Combine week. So we'll see. And we're going to start to hear those stories. In addition to all the 40 times, we'll start to hear, man, player XYZ was really impressive. This front office member walked out of that interview really happy or really impressed by this player. Typically, it's because they had a really good conversation. Usually just reading the tea leaves and connecting the dots there. We'll take the break. Coming up next, it's time to pick a side. We'll talk about NBA coaches and their apparel and a new format for hockey overtime. And we've also heard about format changes for the NBA All-Star Game as well. We'll talk about that on Pick a Side coming up next. Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's Carmichael Dave wanting you to join Capital Casino every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. in a safe, friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton and Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton and Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special. It's a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Paramount Pictures and Spyglass Media Group present Scream 7. When a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, Sidney must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. Starring Neve Campbell, Isabel May, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, with Matthew Lillard, Joel McHale, and Courtney Cox. In theaters February 27th.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
Here's a side we can all agree on. Ban biting your lip. Get rid of it. Because once you bite your lip once, then it gets all fat, and then you just keep biting the same thing. I can't even have a snack without causing myself pain right now.
You just did it. I did it last week.
I have a sore, I guess, or wound on my lip that I keep biting.
And it's easy to do with certain foods, too.
This is why my life's difficult.
I know. You're a Kings fan,
pity me.
and you bite your lip.
Yeah, pity me.
Stop that negativity, Matt.
My team's the Sacramento Kings, and I
Matt,
cause
turn it
myself harm
around.
when I eat food. Anyway, pick a side.
Oh, goodness.
All right, we ready to pick a side?
We are ready.
Okay, great. First, pick a side. NBA coaches should go back to suit and ties worn on the sidelines.
Can you put the background behind that real quick, or the back drop behind that? Because you know who said that this past weekend. Who got a statue put up of themselves?
Oh, Pat Riley.
Pat Riley said this.
Oh, so Pat Riley thinks they should go back?
It's
Okay,
a big
I missed
topic
this.
now that is all out there.
Old
now.
man Riley. Well, I saw Stephen A. Smith was yelling about, like, players need to dress better. Which, okay.
I mean, I think that's just for us to be like, oh, that's a
Yeah.
cool outfit.
Just for context, so when COVID happened, the suit and tie coach
Yes.
kind of died
Yes.
with it, and they started going to polos.
And every they went to the polos, or the team basically like track suits essentially, and they're not track suits, but you know what I mean. Every coach loves it. Every coach way prefers it. So yes, we don't need to go back to suits and ties. They're athletic coaches. They're coaching a game. They don't need to, like, if college coaches want to still do it because of you're old fashioned and blah blah blah. Hey, that's great for you, man. But we don't need to see shirts and ties and suits and ties courtside of an NBA game when we know what coaches are there for. So no, I think it's silly to worry about that.
Okay, so I went back and forth on this.
Okay.
To my eye, I would like to see them like dressed up nicely, right? And they can wear their sneakers. Yeah, I like when people like look nice, like when they are buttoned up, whatever. And I don't do that, and you could be like, Kayla, what are you talking about? Well, yeah, I know, because, again, I have an excuse now, too. I'm on radio. I don't have to do it. I did it for 20-something years of my TV career.
Yep.
But I am not going to tell them to do that, because I know that wearing a suit when you're on the bench or when you get heated and it's uncomfortable and you're sweating. I saw it firsthand when I covered Sean Miller at Arizona. The man sweated through his entire suit, his entire shirt.
Yeah.
Like, it was wild. And at that moment, I thought, why are we doing this to coach? Like, he doesn't need to be dressing up. So as much as I'd like to see it and it looks nice, I don't believe you need to be putting them in suits.
Hey, newsflash, dress shirts, ties, I can't speak for dresses, but dress shirts, ties, button-downs, belts, not the dress shoes, not the most comfortable things in the world.
No.
And when you don't need, like, plus we're talking about like the stuff that these coaches wear, it's universal or it's uniform. All the coaches typically wear the same thing. It looks good. It's clean. It's made by Nike or whoever.
It doesn't
whichever
look
brand.
bad.
No, they look sharp. They look fine. They look athletic. That's the point. They're head coaches of athletic teams. So I personally don't think it's necessary at all to have them wear suit and ties other than, well, you need to look professional. You need to look good. Okay, old man sitting on your couch that's drinking a beer in sweats. Like, no, it doesn't matter to me.
Pat Riley's old.
And not only that, like, we should my point on this is, shockingly, given the outfits that I wear, there shouldn't be dress codes at all in sports coaching situations. Like,
that's too far.
If the baseball manager doesn't want to wear the freaking jersey, he shouldn't have to wear the jersey.
I don't know.
I think that's cool.
I don't know about, like, the women coaches. Like, some of them, props to them. Some of them, they wear the heels. Like, props to you. I could never do that. But I don't want a woman coach, like, in like a cocktail dress. You know what I'm saying? Going out there and coaching.
You'd be.
Just
that would be
saying.
brave. That would certainly be brave.
But, like, I don't like Kim Mulkey at all, but, like, there should be a male Kim Mulkey somewhere running around sports, but now they all have to be uniform in some way, and it doesn't get to exist, and I don't like it.
I think a dress code should always exist in terms of what is unacceptable.
Right.
But I don't think you have to mandate what everybody is wearing.
Personally, I think public pressure should dictate that. If you want to dress like a buffoon and get clowned on the internet, go for it.
Yeah,
You want to be unprofessional and get made fun of, go for it. I think this is going to sound awful, but peer pressure and shame will dictate that if you get rid of a dress code.
All right, what's next?
Next up, 3-on-3 format is the right way to do the hockey overtime.
There's also some stuff behind that. So Canada's head coach John Cooper, who obviously coaches in the NHL, said after Canada lost, conveniently, that he doesn't like the 3-on-3. Are you kidding me, coach? Like, that's been in the NHL for a long time now, and you're just complaining about it because Canada lost? No, it's the best freaking outcome you could have in overtime. It's fast. It's fun. It doesn't keep you going too long because hockey can also drag out in overtime if it goes back to the old format. Like, John Cooper, I love you to death, but no, bro.
I, too, will blame the situation and not take accountability after losing or doing things wrong and blame the circumstance, too, so I can relate to that point. I mean, I like it, I guess. It took a lot of people, like, I remember the freak out amongst baseball traditionalists when they did the overtime starting a runner on second base thing. I personally am, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
So having 3-on-3, if it opens up the opportunity for more goals, which is what we're all there for, in a climactic finish, rather than we have to wait another 1,000 minutes for something to actually happen or to go to. I think it's way better than a penalty shootout. Let me tell you, same thing as soccer, same thing in hockey. I know penalty shootouts are cool and high pressure, but to me, that's not the most true way to decide a game.
Do that too.
Oh, I know they do.
Yeah.
And penalty shootouts in hockey are a bit different than like a penalty shootout in soccer necessarily. But I would always prefer for some sort of regulation to decide the game. And if 3-on-3 makes that more likely, then that's the route that I'd prefer to go.
So you're not going to believe this. I disagree. Fundamentally, not on the 3-on-3 isn't a good idea for like just hockey games in general, but I believe that your playoff games, your championship rounds, the ones that actually matter and have stakes to them, should just be a reflection of like generally what the sport is. So like football, I love that they take the clock. Like you can have ties in the regular season, but not in the playoffs. The clock will just go on forever.
Yeah.
Baseball, they go to you can play forever until a game is decided. So I think for hockey, it should be the traditional 5-on-5 for playoff games and medal rounds and things like that, because when it's that important, it should be a reflection of what your actual sport looks like. And if it goes on for 60 minutes or a baseball game goes 18 innings, then so be it.
I don't know. You have your 3 best players out there that you think need to be out there to start it. You have your 3 best players on the opposite team, and you have your best goalies in goal.
Right. Yeah, it's super.
And it's exciting.
Super exciting and fun. I'm fine with it for just normal hockey, but for playoffs and medal rounds, it should be 5-on-5.
Screw it, make them fight. Last person standing wins.
I know, right?
Are there rules about that in the Olympics? Because I saw they broke up the fights real quick.
No fighting in the Olympics.
You can't.
Yeah.
Boo!
I mean, it is weird that the NHL still like allows fighting.
Nah,
that's part of the sport. Tradition.
Apparently not, because not at the Olympics.
Well, yeah, because they don't want. I don't think they want countries physically going to war on the ice.
Oh, you think U.S. and Canada wasn't going to get chippy? Oh, let me tell you.
Too friendly in Canada.
No. Pick a side number 3. Mike Tirico is the best sports broadcaster, I'm guessing, in the country right now.
I personally don't like. This is such a cop-out answer, and I acknowledge it, but this is genuinely how I feel. Like, I don't pit broadcasters against each other or rank.
I do.
Some people do. I enjoy everybody for what uniquely they bring to the game. I think Mike Tirico is phenomenal. So if that's your feeling after listening to him, then good for you. Again, I'm going to fence it really, really hard on this pick a side here. I think Mike Tirico is absolutely amongst the 100% elite best in the world at what he does. But I don't know if I'd put him ahead of like a Kevin Harlan or something like that. Or like
I will.
If you want to, that's good for you. I even like Joe Buck for what he brings. I like different people for what they bring. Greg Olson, I like what he does. So
yeah.
Greg Olson's not on the Mike Tirico level though.
The difference between those guys and Mike Tirico, to me, and if you didn't hear his message to wrap up the Olympics, you probably should go look at that. It probably would make you feel good as an American or just a person in general. Anybody who can do literally almost any sport. Like, I don't think there are a lot of broadcasters who are good at almost every sport.
Yeah.
And Mike Tirico specifically with hockey, because he didn't do it his whole career. And like to be able to pick it up, like, you know, towards the latter part of his career and do it so flawlessly. Like everything Mike Tirico does when he broadcasts is like, it's just natural. Like he doesn't bug me. His tone doesn't bug me. He lets it breathe like he's genuine.
Yeah.
And that's why I truly think he's the best broadcaster in the country. I mean, he went from doing NBA this year to the Super Bowl to the Olympic moment of the Olympics. It's incredible. Like, I love what he does as a broadcaster.
He's a gifted storyteller, and one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best traits of a elite broadcaster is knowing when you do not matter and when you do.
Absolutely.
And that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
When you do not matter, and what Mike Tirico does when he speaks, it's phenomenal. But he also knows this moment has nothing to do with me. I'm going to shut the hell up, and I'm going to allow you to experience what we're experiencing here in this building or what the story requires. That's to me is the sign of a great storyteller. And Mike Tirico is a master at that. So, love him.
Kyle?
Big fan.
I'm going to disagree on principle only because all the things you said about Tirico are correct, but number one in my heart, always and forever, is Hello Friends, Jim Nantz. Alongside
interesting.
whoever it's going to be. But Jim Nantz checks all the boxes, been doing it my entire life. Jim Nantz always going to be number one for me.
Jim Nantz
He's
is the
not
GOAT.
doing the first year or the first round of the tournament.
Well, he doesn't do any of the tournament anymore.
He doesn't? That's right.
Yeah, no.
He just does PGA?
Well, in NFL.
Well, yeah, and NFL.
Yeah, but no, he retired from college basketball a couple years ago.
Harlan isn't doing.
Yeah, Kevin Harlan's
Kevin
not.
Harlan isn't doing the first few rounds of the tournament.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think Ian Eagle is the main person now for
He's
college
great
basketball.
too. Ian
he's
and
really good.
The Eagles, Noah Eagle, Ian Eagle, they're both phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, a classic of mine, Bill King. Holy Toledo.
Oh,
Bill King.
Nice.
Always a classic. So it just depends on what you're what you're into. But Mike Tirico is great. We will take the break. When we come back, it is lunch break time. Time for you to be a part of the show. 916-339-1140, 800-920-1140. We'll talk about the new Kings in town, Killian Hayes and Patrick Baldwin Jr. Plus, should we start looking at Maxime Reynaud truly as the Kings' future starting center? Kayla and I will discuss coming up next.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo Inc.
This is the sound of Jack, buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Bar None Auction, Sky River Casino, and Trex Decking and Railing. More info at CITPFest.com.
What's cracking? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Chad, tell us what's happening for Ram Truck Month.
Well, there's no better time to get a Ram than Ram Truck Month. Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 1500 crew cabs. Or save big when you take advantage of the $7,000 Hoblet discount and get 0% financing for 60 months. You'll save thousands in finance charges on top of the huge Hoblet discount.
Yeah, I can't even believe 0% financing is an option at the moment.
It's not an easy thing to find nowadays, but we're always looking to help you save money. Plus, with over 400 new Rams available, you can save big on your perfect Ram. At Hoblet, we focus on you and helping you get the Ram you need.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie after 8,000 factory rebates and 7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 2,000 select inventory bonus cash on select inventory, 1,000 SFS bonus cash, must finance through Stellantis, 500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. 5% net savings, see dealer for details.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
Phone lines are wide open for the next hour before Sean Cunningham comes in and takes them all away. KCRA3's Sean Cunningham.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Who? I don't know.
He will join us at 1 o'clock. Talk some Sacramento Kings basketball with him. I'm sure he has some opinions on this upcoming draft, how this season is going as a whole. And I'm pretty sure Sean was just down in sunny Arizona for the start of spring training.
Lovely.
Double check with Sean with that before we have him on to chat a little bit about some spring training baseball that's going on right now. By the way, the Giants and the A's are playing today. Actually, they're about to start, if I'm not mistaken. Giants and A's.
Nice little rivalry there.
I think it's Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. How much of a rivalry is it still, though? That'd be an interesting conversation for the baseball season when it gets there. But
maybe.
Sean's a huge Giants fan. I'm a huge A's fan.
See, that's a rivalry with it itself, right there.
So
last year, weren't the Giants like, hey, A's fans, we're all one city. Why don't you come on back type of situation?
Yeah, they tried to do that thing in the Bay, and it pissed A's fans off even more.
Because
partially
partially
Big Brother.
Well, it's also partially the Giants' fault that the A's are gone.
Oh, yeah.
The A's tried to build in San Jose, and the Giants blocked it.
Yeah.
Even though that territorial rights used to belong to the A's, and they gave it to the Giants to get the Giants a stadium, and then when the A's needed a stadium, the Giants were like, actually, screw you guys.
Yeah, we're blocking you.
F you, Giants. We know what you did. But the A's and Giants played today in spring training.
Sounds like still a rivalry.
Right now, it is time for some Kings talk, though. And again, if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can be. 916-339-1140, 800-920-1140. A couple new Kings were signed or announced within very short time of each other over the weekend. The first one, the more significant of the names, although the deal is less significant, that's former top pick Killian Hayes. The Kings signed him to a 10-day contract. Now, a little context, Killian Hayes is 24 years old. He was the 7th pick in the 2020 draft to the Detroit Pistons, a pick that they would like to forget about. What's funny is he was taken well ahead of both Tyrese Halliburton and Tyrese Maxey in that draft. I remember there's a lot of excitement in Detroit for Killian Hayes. It did not work out. However, he's been having a fantastic season playing for the G League. Bobby Gerald, who's a friend of the show, we actually had him on the show last week. Bobby Gerald shared maybe a couple days before this broke that the Kings should consider kicking the tires on Killian Hayes. He makes a ton of sense for Sacramento to just take a flyer on in need of some point guard depth. And, well, the Kings went out and did it. Killian Hayes is averaging 24 points, shooting 46% from the field, 33% from three-point range, 79% from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and nearly 2 steals in the G League this season. So the question becomes, Kayla, it's a 10-day contract, so it's just a flyer, just to take a look. Does he get a true opportunity over these 10 days, or is he just to provide some depth at a position where the Sacramento Kings are light? And if the answer to that question is no, he's going to get a true look, does that mean that Devin Carter, who was out of the rotation on Saturday in San Antonio, he's now, at least over these next 10 days while Killian Hayes is here, he's now back to the back burner?
That's a good question, because we've all had, our opinions about Devin Carter this year and why he wasn't playing pretty much at all for a big chunk of the season. And then recently when the log jam was unjammed, we started to see a little bit more of Devin Carter. And whether you liked it or not, it looked like he would possibly be playing more consistent minutes for the remainder of the season to either figure out what they completely had in him, if it was the right fit for them, like maybe for the future of this team, or if they just wanted to give him a chance to get his value up for their own sake. So now when you have a guy like this coming in, who again is going to be a guy coming off the bench clearly, but he's going to provide you more depth at that spot, it's going to take time away from somebody else, at least until they can maybe evaluate if they want to keep him around or not. And that's what I think it is. I think it's giving Hayes an opportunity to be like, okay, look, this is your opportunity. Make the most of it. If we like what we see, we could keep you around a little bit longer. If not, it's a 10-day contract. What do we have to lose? We'll go back to maybe playing more Devin Carter. But I do believe in this time that we see Hayes here, we're not going to see as much Devin Carter.
Yeah, I would think it makes the most sense to bring him in and over these next 10 days, which I'll actually have to look at the Kings' schedule to see.
It's all on the road, right? Or a lot of it.
It's primarily on the road. I think the entire length of the contract he will be traveling outside of Sacramento.
Yeah.
So, I mean, game Monday today against Memphis, then Houston, then Dallas, and LA, and now we're talking Sunday. So he might.
The 10 days goes through the Pelicans game.
Yeah, okay. So he'll get 2 home games, the Pelicans game on the 5th, the Phoenix game on the 3rd. I have a hard time believing you bring in a guy to take a look at and you just have him practice with the team in a limited time where you're not really going to practice too much and he's not going to get opportunities. So I do believe Devin Carter will be put on the back burner, which might frustrate some people. I thought Devin Carter's played pretty well.
He's been fine.
In the opportunity that he's gotten, but the Kings obviously don't really have much of a belief in Devin Carter for their future, and Killian Hayes could potentially turn into something that they don't expect. So I personally would imagine that he's going to get a look and Devin will be put on the back burner again in the short period of time. The always chipper and happy TR the Star in the comment section on our YouTube stream says, talk about how Killian Hayes is a waste of a signing like Markelle Fultz last year. G League means nothing to translating to the NBA. First off, that second part is very wrong. Typically, NBA players or fringe NBA players go down in the G League and put up the numbers that we're seeing Killian Hayes put up. Now, granted, to TR's point, we have to see, and the whole point of a 10-day contract is to see, okay, can that success that you're having, now that you're a bit older, will that translate to being able to be effective in the NBA? He's 24.
24, okay.
And in comparison to the Markelle Fultz situation, it is similar in the sense that at this time last year, the Kings took a flyer on Markelle Fultz. Granted, the Kings were still playing for something at that point. Right now, they're just in a complete, losing rebuild period. But I don't think it's fair to write off anything that Killian Hayes is doing or isn't doing, because the point is, Killian now has an opportunity to show that he's different from how he was when he came into the league. It did not work with the Detroit Pistons. He was not worthy of the top 7 pick. He was a bust in the draft in that sense, but he's kept working. He's developed. He's gotten older. He's gotten smarter, plays the point guard position. Now he's going to come to Sacramento and over the next handful of games, maybe get 15 minutes off the bench to see, oh, you are an NBA caliber point guard. And if that's the case, hey, maybe we can talk about signing you through the rest of the season and even long-term going into future seasons, because we need point guard depth. You're 24 years old, so you fit the timeline. It's a no-lose situation. So wasting a signing, it's ridiculous. It's a no-lose situation.
Yeah, at this point, there's nothing you can lose. Like, really, the Kings are are at the bottom.
Yep.
They're probably going to stay there. There's no instant fixing anything at this moment. If anything, it's giving you opportunities as a GM in Scott Perry to make some decisions, to try some different things, like to give some opportunities to guys maybe you're interested in. Because what do you have to lose this year?
Yep.
Games? Perfect. That's what we want to lose.
Right.
Like, so I don't really get how this is a loss by any means.
No.
You're not permanently giving these guys contracts yet unless you really feel like they prove something.
If anything, now is the time. You have time on your side. You have 24 games that most people would consider overall meaningless. Now's the time, to take a flyer on someone, just see what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work out, then nobody cares.
Yeah.
How many people are talking about Markelle Fultz this year? Nobody.
No one.
Doesn't matter. He was here last year. You took a shot. Doesn't matter. So again, when the always wonderful TR says, Killian won't turn into anything for the Kings, maybe you're right. Congratulations on your very successful NBA general manager career, TR. You're such a great evaluator of talent. Meanwhile, the Sacramento Kings are going to give him an opportunity and see what it is. Because a lot of people would have said Dylan Cardwell's not going to be anything in the NBA. He got the opportunity, he turned into what he turned into. Keon Ellis went undrafted. Keon Ellis turned into a player that everybody was losing their minds over that the Kings traded away. You don't know unless you give them opportunity.
Isn't this Scott's job right now?
Yes.
I mean, he's new here. Look, you might not agree with all the moves he's made, but this is kind of the bottom right now of how it's going to get, or at least I hope so.
Yeah.
And so if he wants to see what he throws and sticks, like, why not do it? That's my thought of it. I really don't have a problem with any of this because you're not owing, and really you're not even owing many minutes to these veterans at this point because half of them have had surgery.
Yeah.
So might as well go test what you have out there.
Yeah.
And like you said, it might not work. None of this might work in terms of guys you bring in, but you might want to just try it out.
If there's anything you have an abundance of right now, it's time because you have to play these 24 games. You can't get out of it. So might as well use that time to effectively take a look at somebody or take a flyer on somebody.
By the way, just one other note. So technically you can sign 2 10-day contracts before you have to convert to a full contract.
Yes.
So if they do give him the second one, that would give him 11 games in Sacramento.
Yeah.
There you go.
Take a look.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. And maybe at the end of those 2 10-day contracts, because they don't have really room to bring in anybody else, they say, thank you, we appreciate it. They revisit the conversation during the summertime if he played well and go, okay, now we want to offer you a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know what it could open the door to. The Kings also had an available 2-way contract spot. It was Dylan Cardwell's, but then they converted Dylan to a full NBA contract, and then he got hurt. Well done, Dylan. Good,
I know.
smart work by you. No, I'm joking with Dylan there. But Patrick Baldwin Jr. was signed, former Golden State Warrior. He was drafted 28th overall by the Warriors back in 2022. Never really got a huge opportunity in Golden State. We obviously know the Warriors have been towards the top or have been amongst the best organizations in the league for a while. I don't think anybody is blaming Patrick Baldwin Jr. necessarily in Golden State for not fitting the timeline with what they tried to do.
I think he was part of the Jordan Poole trade, too.
He might have been.
Yeah, I think he only got like a year.
23 years old. He's 7 foot.
Yeah.
But he plays the 4. He's not a center. He's a perimeter player.
His wingspan is
long. He's an eagle. He's huge wingspan. So he's going to be looked at as a perimeter player. And he's averaging, again, playing very, very well in the G League, averaging 23 points, shooting 49% from the field, 32% from 3, not the best. 61% from the foul line, also not great. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in the G League. Again, we're talking about a 2-way contract spot. This is a guy that's going to get his true opportunity for the rest of the season to specifically practice with the team. Might spend some time with the Stockton Kings, might not. Could get into some garbage time, but gives you another body, more length, a look on the perimeter. It's a no-lose situation. You had one of these spots, so you used it.
These aren't any sexy signs. Like, okay, that's not what, Scott Perry's looking to do right now. He's looking to just, keep things going for the rest of the season in terms of just having players depth-wise here.
Yep.
And you're right. There was a 2-way contract that opened up. You got to go do your job and fill that, and that's what he's done. And honestly, I mean, he's 23? Like, he's still on somewhat of the younger end.
Yes.
Like, have him as a 2-way player, like you said. Test him out in some situations if you want to give him a couple minutes here and there. Maybe let him continue to developed down in your great G League system.
Right.
That is the, Stockton Kings.
Yep.
And that's all it is. Like, these aren't big. These aren't like mind-breaking, ground-breaking moves. That's not what we're saying.
Yep.
But these are just things that, as a general manager, they have to make happen for them to continue to even play the game, because you got to have depth.
You have 3 spots, two-way spots, no matter what.
Yeah.
Might as well use them. And if this is a premature move in the sense of you have 3 spots that you have to fill next year, and maybe Patrick Baldwin Jr. impresses you enough in this limited time this year to where you want to bring him back in the same spot next year and just get a head start on that. There's nothing against doing anything like that. But you're right, they're not sexy signings. But guess what? There are no sexy signings at this part of the year.
No.
And there's certainly not a sexy signing that would choose to come to the Sacramento Kings.
What would be a sexy signing?
I don't want to even go down that rabbit hole.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. on a 2-way contract.
Yeah, regardless, like there's nothing that the Kings are going to do that is going to shake the core of anything that's going to be like, oh my God, look what they're doing. It's going to get the same Snoop Dogg who gif on Twitter that everybody uses. It's tired and it's overused and it's funny. Like, great.
Who cares? They're moves that have to happen.
Right.
Like, you have to make some moves.
This is also what a general manager is supposed to do, to your point. You got time, you have opportunity, you have slots. Hey, take a look and maybe we can stumble into something. If not, nobody's going to care.
Exactly.
So I'm all for it. But I want to talk about Maxime Reynaud really quickly. And Kayla, I don't know if you knew this context. I provided it on social media again after the Max's performance against Victor Wembanyama on Saturday. And a lot of people thought I was lying, and I want to clarify because I reported this back during the summertime with ABC 10. Maxime Reynaud was slotted to be a late first-round talent. He was slotted that way. Mm-hmm. He fell to the second round by design.
I've heard you say this before.
The second round is not as much of a draft anymore as it is a branch of free agency.
Pick where you want to go.
The second round is very much dictated by agents and prospects' ideal destinations compared to the first round.
Correct.
The first round, of course, talent has ideal places where they would like to go. But if you're the Sacramento Kings, I don't give a damn where AJ or Darren Peterson or whoever I want. If I have the first pick, I'm taking you, bud. Sorry. You're the best player. I want you on my team. In the second round, it's more I'm looking for specific things or specific needs. Mm-hmm. You as a player are also looking for specific opportunities that will give you a chance. Maxime Reynaud, I reported this. This has been confirmed by many different people.
Sure.
Maxime Reynaud and his camp wanted to come to Sacramento. Mm-hmm. Max went to Stanford, just down the road, had familiarities with Sacramento in that sense geographically, was a fan of Domantas Sabonis, wanted to play and learn with Domantas Sabonis. Also, as a 7-foot center on a team that lacked size, who could also space the floor in college. Now, he hasn't really done that necessarily at the NBA at the level that we'd like, but he came out of college as a 3-point shooting center, 7-footer. He and all the basketball people around him, who are way smarter than me, look at the Sacramento Kings and see the obvious. Hey, that's a potentially good fit. Keon Ellis did the same thing, but as an undrafted free agent. Hey, that's a team that struggles with perimeter defense and 3-point shooting. Oh, those are 2 aspects of my game I'm really good at, and look how it worked out for him, right? Max chose to fall to 42 to get himself to Sacramento, and look at him now. Granted, he had the benefit, I guess, of Domantas Sabonis being hurt as much as he's been hurt this season. That threw him into the fire. But in order, you have to either burn or play and succeed. And he's had moments where he's gotten burnt. More often than not, he's succeeded beyond the level of the 42nd overall pick. So I provide all that context to then open this conversation. How much, if at all, should the Sacramento Kings view Maxime Reynaud as their potential future starting center on this team going forward?
I mean, I think it's easy right now to jump on that and say, well, there's good possibility. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, we've seen growth in him. Yeah, he's a second-round pick, but he's taken advantage of his opportunities. And then part of me wants to say that. It really does. Like, he has taken advantage of his opportunities. He has shown that maybe right now at least he was a little bit better than where he went. But you just gave the context of maybe why he fell to that spot. I don't think there's enough right now to say absolutely not. He can't be that guy. I think for me personally, I need to consider the rest of the season, how he plays, the growth that he continues to have. And then also next year with whatever addition is made here in the draft and how he continues to work in that sophomore season. Because I think a lot of times it is easy when there is not as much out on you as a rookie player to, next year when there's more out on you, teams have seen you.
Yes.
I want to see how you then react to that second year. And so I still have some convincing to be done for me to completely say that is a guy that I think could be your future starter center. But I'm not out on it.
Sure.
He has truly impressed me with what he's been able to do up to this point.
I think that's probably the most logical take that you can have, because the more you play, the less you're going to catch people by surprise, the more you're going to put on tape, and the more there's going to be a scouting report for you. And what Maxime Reynaud is going to face, especially maybe towards the end of this season, but especially next season, although the assumption will be that Domantas Sabonis will be back next year and he'll be your starting center. But regardless, when Max is on the floor, there's going to be more scouting reports on, hey, go right after this young man, because he's tall, but he doesn't really block shots as much as he probably should, and you can push him around. We've seen guys that have gone right into the chest of Maxime Reynaud and lower the shoulder and knock him 5 feet backwards, and they're like 4 inches, 5 inches shorter than him. Now, Max is also going to have an offseason.
That's what I was going to say.
He's going to put on weight. He's going to, and you don't want him to put on too much weight to where he loses the finesse and that.
Smart weight.
But he's going to get stronger, as everybody does. It's not
get swole, as the kids say.
Sure. He's not going to come back and look like the Hulk or anything like that and suddenly completely overnight look like the way Mike Bibby does right now.
That would be too many baguettes for him in the offseason,
Protein baguettes.
Not the carbs.
The protein baguette.
Now, Frankie can't have either of them.
But Max is going to experience being treated like a starting caliber center and getting scouted like a starting caliber center.
Correct.
And I'm with you. I don't think I'm there yet necessarily. I do believe that Max is absolutely a rotational center in the league, but I'm also there with Dylan Cardwell.
Sure.
And unless you feel pretty confident that you're going to bring in center of the future, or maybe Domas sticks around and works out long-term or whatever, unless you feel pretty confident that you can run a hybrid of multi-bigs like a Dylan Cardwell
I kind of like that name.
Maxime Reynaud, as long as you feel like you can run both of them together, then you won't have a problem. But at some point, eventually, you're going to have a choose one over the other scenario, which you didn't really have to face too much this season because of the injuries to Domantas Sabonis.
Right. And that plays into it 100%. I think it's been it's been an easy decision, but it's kind of naturally worked itself out in terms of Domas being injured for a great part of this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he was down for a significant part of this year.
Yeah.
That you didn't really have to necessarily think about it too hard.
Yep.
Especially when you got to the point where you knew you were out of the chase. And so it was like for Scott Perry and Doug, it's like, okay, this naturally just makes more sense to play Max and to give him as many minutes as we can. And, we can continue to evaluate him and to continue to see how he grows. Look, he's a fit for the organization.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down, fit for the organization. Just need a little bit more body of work for me to know that, that's going to be steady Eddie. It's not going to be like a 1 year and then we go down and have a big dip.
Yeah, the conversation might be, hey, if Maxime Reynaud is your starting center, you're probably not a very good basketball team. Hard to argue that.
Yeah.
But also, it's not going to be Max's fault that they're not a good basketball team if he's a starting caliber center, at least to start. But it depends on how he continues to develop. And to me, there are 4 areas. 1, continue to develop as a passer so the Kings can use you in a similar way that they've used Domantas Sabonis. You have to develop as a shot blocker. I know 100%. Stanford didn't want you to do it because they didn't want you to get in foul trouble. Brother, you're 7'1". Yeah. You've got the wingspan. You need to protect the rim.
You're also in foul trouble a bunch now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to develop as a shot blocker. You need to incorporate that three-point shot better than you do. Take a look at Brook Lopez and see, how do I become that threat for the Sacramento Kings? Brook Lopez is his ticket to being a starting center in this league.
Maybe he should go work with Brook.
Maybe he should. That's number 3. And then number 4 is just the getting stronger element.
And
like those 4 things. If he works on those 4 things, he has a very good chance of being a starting caliber center.
What is great, and I think I could say confidently in all of those things, he's sure going to try. He's going to do everything he can in this offseason to work on those things. And that's one thing you don't have to worry about, Max. That is one thing you don't have to worry about.
The comments when Max got to Sacramento after being drafted was they couldn't get the guy out of the gym. That's how he was when he first got drafted. I remember talking to him about that in his introductory press conference when he was drafted. So, yeah, Max is going to work. And the question is, what does that work look like at the end of this offseason? So, we will take the break. While we're watching the summertime offseason in the NBA, we'll have MLB action happening for us. Like I said, the Giants and the A's are playing right now in spring training. But what are their World Series odds and win over-unders? We'll fill you in on those coming up next before Kayla's final Olympic minute. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible boardings on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really. Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9. Restrictions apply.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
High Voltage Live Boxing returns to the venue on March 7th as Uppercut Promotions presents 6 of Northern California's top fighters. Thunder Showdown March 7th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
2 iconic comedians. 1 night of laughs. David Spade, Dana Carvey.
In 1998, they invented the cordless mic. Now let me just... Listen, Paramount Theater, let's not jump on trends.
Even in the best marriage, at one point, you look over and go, not my best choice.
Friday, February 27th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now at visitthundervalleyresort.com. David Spade and Dana Carvey, together.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
As a show, can we have a round of applause, please? Round of applause. Woo! Yep, as a show, round of applause. Keep that cheering up. Yes, this show is cheering for the fact that the A's are up 2-0 on the Giants. Take that, Giants. 2-0.
Do we know how? Man, your lung capacity is incredible.
Oh, and it ended so sad. It's like, oh.
Well, it's lung capacity. You run out of air, you know?
I should do those like soccer calls.
The goals?
Yeah.
Let's see. So the A's are up 2-0 in the top of the second, by the way.
Nice.
Wow, early, getting on the board early, huh?
Oh, hey, listen. It's the way A's have to win. They got to score.
What bum was pitching for the Giants, huh? Watch it be Logan Webb.
No, it's Trevor McDonald.
What bum?
Who?
Trevor McDonald.
the same Snoop Dogg, the Snoop Dogg meme.
Yeah.
RBI double in the top of the first for the A's, and then they scored on a double play, which doesn't feel like scoring, but they scored.
It's a score.
That's my favorite play in baseball, the RBI double play.
Hey.
I know, right?
Get in and play, kid.
Doesn't matter.
2-0 A's
Scoring.
over the Giants. Let's ignore the fact that the A's are 0-2 in spring training and the Giants are 2-0. Just ignore that part.
Yeah, we're not thinking about that. It's just spring training.
Winning the game.
See,
spring training only matters if my team is playing well. If it doesn't, if they're not playing well, then it doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter,
But if
right?
the A's hit 7 home runs in a spring training game, we're going to the World Series.
Yeah, and then we're talking about it.
You say that, Kayla, but the Beam Team season, the Kings went 4-0 in the preseason, and then they didn't win another preseason game for 3 years.
That is kind of crazy.
The Beam team,
They didn't
the
win
Beam team year they went 4-0 in the preseason, and then they lost their first 4 games to start the season. And then they
That's
ended up-
crazy.
yeah, it was a weird start to
But then the year after, they went like 1-4, and it was like the first one was a win.
Okay.
And then last year, when the entire team imploded, they went 0-4 in the preseason. Everyone was like, "See, preseason matters."
Right?
Well, you'll be shocked to learn that the LA Dodgers are the betting favorite to win the World Series. Wow, I can see how,
My gosh,
how
took my
stunned
breath
you are.
away.
I
I'm
know,
stunned.
believe it. They're plus 230 to win the World Series. They're you just tell me, would you take the over or the under on this? Their win total over/under is set at 102.5 wins.
Okay.
Over is -115, under is -105. So betting that they'll win less is actually the better
bet. Yeah.
Do you think they'll win more than 102.5 games? So will they win 103 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I do.
It's the Dodgers.
I know. I'm like, yeah, as much as I don't want them to.
Weren't they like the 3 seed last year, though, going into the playoffs?
They had because they had a kind of a dip in I think it was their bullpen maybe that was having some issues.
They also just had injuries. Yeah, they only won 93 last year, if that helps.
Only 93. Poor guys.
That means they'll be better this year.
They actually haven't won 102 since they won 111 in 2022 when they lost to the Padres in the playoffs.
Where do you think, in terms of top World Series odds, where do you
Okay.
think Seattle is? Your Seattle Mariners.
Like where in the picture?
Like, no, if you're just like, who has the top odds? Dodgers are number 1.
Oh,
where do you
I
think
would
the
say
Seattle Mariners are?
Mariners lie somewhere in that like 4 range.
You think they're 4th? The Seattle Mariners have the 3rd best draft lottery.
okay.
Or draft lottery. The 3rd best, you can
Odds?
tell what I'm talking about, World Series odds. They're 13-1.
Okay.
The New York Yankees are 2nd at plus 950.
Can I say something about that?
Please.
And look, I know the Yankees, it's not like they never have talent.
Yep.
But I just feel like they're always the easy one to just put up there to start the year.
Yeah, it's the Yankees. Put 'em up
I
there.
swear to you. It's like, put the Yankees up there.
Yep.
Yep. Second best odds. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Put the Yankees up
It's
there.
like every single year I feel like that. They're always going to be talked about that they're in the mix.
The Seattle Mariners went. I'm taking the over on this easily. 89.5. Will the Mariners win 90 games?
Yeah, I think that even if it's just 90.
I think they're winning 90 games.
I think it's over.
I also, like we had in our predictions, I think Seattle's going to the World Series. I think Seattle's...
You just think they're going to lose it.
Well, to the Dodgers, yes. But I think
Come on,
Seattle...
Matt,
I'm not
give
trying
me
to break
some
your heart.
love here.
I'm trying to get it behind your squad. Well, I can't like them during the season.
I know
They're a division
They're
rival.
A division rival.
So once the season starts, screw the Mariners.
I know.
But right now, I'm trying to give them love.
I
all
can't
right?
wait to see what our birthday Monday is going to be like. Are we going to be fighting in the seats?
Just fisticuffs. Just fisticuffs.
They're just, the MLB fight Twitter account that exists. It's just going to be Matt and Kayla fighting on the account because someone's filming it.
It's going to be Kayla kicking me as I lay on the ground.
I have a bat.
I'm just going to be in a
from
fetal
the bat
position.
boy.
Just don't listen.
They're going to have to like drag you out, Kayla, and you're going to be still like throwing a shoe at him.
Oh yeah, that I would do. I would keep throwing stuff.
I've
not
learned,
at you in particular, but just at people.
No, I've learned that I should not pick a fight with Kayla Anderson. I learned that very quickly on this show. And
I think she might fight Alan before she fights
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. And
I told him I'd fight him the other day.
What we want to do is have you and him do a full show together one day, and Whitey and I are going to sit in the old Kings Arco Arena seats right over there, and we're just going to watch.
Right.
It'll happen eventually.
And then I would like to.
Kayla's swinging first, though. Always.
You betcha.
Well, yeah, no, Alan's not going to fight Kayla. Alan's going to be like, whoa, I'm being punched now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We should expect the Giants have better World Series odds than the A's. That's not surprising. But it's better, but it's not as much better as you would expect. The Giants are 65-1 title odds, which puts them almost dead in the middle of the pack. Shocking. The
I was going to
Giants
say
right
they're
around
right in the middle,
dead
right?
middle. The A's are the bottom. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh worst.
And who's at the bottom?
The Rockies.
Got to be the Rockies.
Well,
right? actually,
technically, the Rockies are tied with two different teams.
Are you serious?
Who are the two teams at the bottom with the Rockies?
White Sox?
Yep.
White Sox?
The last one.
Come on.
The last one.
I can do this. I can do
trying
this.
to
Come
think.
on.
I'm like, where is Tampa at nowadays?
I don't think it's Tampa.
Miami?
Miami is not.
I think it's Washington.
Dang.
Yep.
Really?
The White Sox, Nationals, and Rockies all 500-1. The Angels 250-1.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the Nationals like traded everybody this offseason.
I know. I'm like, gosh, that sounds weird to say.
Oh, I can't wait for who he play for baseball.
The A's, Twins, and Pirates all have 100-1 odds. So the same odds to win the World Series. But what people care about is the win total over unders. So what do you think the over-under is for the San Francisco Giants? Team mid.
Can we look at what we said, by the way?
What we predicted? What you predicted? Yeah. Well, yeah. We can compare to.
You both said 90 for the A's and 87 for the Giants.
Essentially, yes. I think I ended up saying like 91 and
they're
88
going to be below that.
Yeah. Okay.
The over-under is exactly 80.5. That's my guess.
82.
He's right.
Yeah,
80.5.
I'm telling you.
They're smack dab like, are they going to be a 500 team or are they going to be below 500?
I'm telling you, they're the most mid team ever concocted. They are always 81 and 81.
It's the Cleveland Guardians are also 80.5 over under. So, Kayla, you and I are taking the over in that sense.
Over.
I do think the Giants will be slightly above 500.
Okay.
You'd take the under because you're...
No, I'd take the over because I said 81 and 81.
Okay, so you're going to take... Yeah, so they might... If they're a 500 team, they barely sneak over.
Sure.
I'll say they'll be 80 and 81 the last game of the season, and the last game is going to... I'm telling you, this is the most mid team in baseball.
How much lower is that A's number, you think, in terms of... So it's 80.5 for the Giants. It's going to be something and a half for the A's. How much lower?
I'm going to go with like 70.5.
Okay. So 10 games lower.
I don't think it's that low. I think it's probably like 74.5.
You're very close. It's 75.5.
Okay.
So 75.5 is the over-under for the A's.
It's a little more respectable they're giving them.
I think that's an easy over for me.
Yeah.
I think the A's offense alone, they'll break 80.
Yeah.
I do think they're going to be right. If they're not above 500, they're going to be right in the mix, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I predicted them to be over 90 wins, but that's just because I'm a homer.
I'm an optimist.
I'm a homer over here.
Did they got to like 76 last year, right? Something like that. I mean, given even that long losing streak, I think they got somewhere around there.
I'll have to double check because I genuinely don't remember. But a lot of people do have the A's to essentially be the exact same team, which is crazy to me, and simply because of their pitching. But that's absurd to me to expect them just to be the exact same.
Yeah, 76 last year.
Yeah, 76. It's absurd to expect them to be the same with a full season of Nick Kurtz and their bats being as good as they are, assuming they can stay healthy. I understand the pitching is a concern, but it's not that much of a concern, or it shouldn't be that much of a concern to suggest they're not going to naturally get better with all of their young talent going into another season. Yep. So I'm taking the over on 75.5 for the A's. But, yep. Kyle, where do you think your Padres are?
Oh, gosh, this is going to make me sad.
Dang, Kyle.
I'll say is it like 82.5 or 83.5?
In terms of where did it go? 85.5.
Okay,
see,
that made me feel a little better.
There you go.
28-1 title odds.
My expectations with the Padres this year is if they make the playoffs, I will be happy. I'm just setting the bar low going into this season because they spent no money and lost some players. But now they've got Walker Buehler apparently.
Are we just resigned to the fact that nobody is going to give the Dodgers any sort of competition in the division, or do we think the Pirates or the Pirates?
The Pirates! Oh boy, Paul Skeens.
The Pirates be taking over the NL West.
Now, DeAndre Hunter and the
Padres or the Giants will make any sort of noise.
No. I mean, the Giants could...
They're just going to run away with it?
The Giants could, if Tony, again, kind of makes his footprint early on here, his first year. Mm-hmm. We'll see what that is, but I think the Dodgers are just way ahead. Way ahead. Money buys you things.
Money buys you wins. But you know what, Dodgers? You don't have the story of Team USA's Olympic hockey team. That's what you don't got. You don't get those moments. Well, winning a World Series is pretty special. Kayla's final Olympic Minute is coming up next before KCRA3's Sean Cunningham joins us at 1 o'clock. Ashley, I see you on hold. We'll get to you very, very soon if you want to talk Kings. That's still to come here on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at PepsiPromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Going.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com. Driving business forward.
All Americans should do what they can to prepare for the future. Donald Trump Jr. here with an important message. More and more Americans are looking for ways to diversify their hard-earned money, and gold is the perfect solution. For example, a gold IRA from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group lets you diversify your IRA or 401k into physical gold with zero taxes and zero penalties. You stay in control with a tangible asset that's held value for thousands of years. And right now, Birch Gold is offering a free info kit to help you understand how it works. Just text the word SECURE, SECURE, to 989898. There's no pressure, no obligation, just the facts. You can't predict the future, but you can be prepared, but only if you educate yourself. So take that first step right now. Text SECURE to the number 989898 today. That's SECURE to 989898.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like an estate planner.
Per the contents of the will, all assets go to, what does that say? Ragutataya Yaminayat. Oh, I don't know. I was in a weird place when I wrote this.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs.
Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Truck Month?
Get the new Ram you want at the most affordable price I've seen in years. You can lease a new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie for as low as $399 a month for 39 months. That's $13,000 off MSRP on a brand new 2026 Ram truck.
Whoa, $399 a month? That feels like it can't be real.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive how we've been able to find all this savings. As a 5th-generation family-owned dealer, our goal has always been and continues to be to serve our customers and save them as much as possible.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$13,000 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie after $5,000 factory rebate and $7,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $2,000 select inventory cash on select inventory, $399 special lease with $29.95 due at signing plus tax, license fees, and dealer accessories. Must finance through Stellantis. 7,500 miles per year, 30 cents per mile over for well-qualified buyers with 720 plus FICO score. Sample VIN 179105. MSRP 68,125. See dealer for details.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is a bit old. About 30 minutes ago, Chris Haynes reported that Utah Jazz starting center Yusuf Nurkic will undergo a surgical procedure on his nose that will sideline him for the remainder of the season. So the Jazz keeping it going.
Now they're getting nose jobs and stuff. Jeez.
Hey, listen.
This is Chris Haynes, and you've been briefed.
You've been briefed.
I did love the joke people were making on the internet that the Kings are the universal healthcare organization. Is that anyone who wants to go to the doctor can go to the doctor with the Kings?
Listen, the medical policies, you have to pay, you get state income tax, but the medical policies can't be beat.
True that. I had to get filled in on that when I first moved here. All the medical stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff.
Must be nice.
I'm on my wife's insurance.
Must be nice.
Well, I heard.
Must be nice.
Hey, man, teachers, if there's one thing they get, it's benefits. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Strong unions, baby.
Strong unions. We have said goodbye to the Olympics. Wah, wah.
Don't say it.
We'll have to wait 4 more years until the Winter Olympics come again. Of course, we talked about Team USA's win in hockey earlier. I'm sure that's going to come up in the Olympic Minute. But before we start the Olympic Minute, Kayla, I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Do Olympics have main events? Because it feels like USA won the main event. I know it's just another medal, but it feels like hockey was the main event of the Winter Olympics, and Team USA won it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would go as far as to say basketball is the main event of Summer Olympics. It's big for us in the USA because we know the USA always does really, really well. But you could argue, I feel like, not to disrespect Winter Olympics, but I feel like swim matters a lot. Track and field matters a lot. Gymnastics matters a lot. There are far more, I feel like, pop culture bigger events in the summer than during the winter. The winter felt like it was like all these other really cool things, and no disrespect to anybody. I'm just saying how I feel like the public perspective is. But hockey was like the main event of the Winter Olympics.
Part of that, too, because hockey came back, right? Because they took it away for a while. And so then, having the anticipation and the buildup of, hockey's back. And, by the way, U.S. has done some work in the past years building their youth, hockey programs. And you are now seeing the U.S. reap the benefits of that, where they are very on par with Canada now, where Canada, that's what you do. Like, you play hockey when you grow up. I mean, I've even covered NFLers that played hockey, decided to go the NFL route, which was bizarre for them to do because they grew up playing hockey as well. So that you have to feel good about if you're the U.S., and it is the bigger event, and it also capped off the Olympics. Like, they slowly built up the whole tournament play until the end where they won gold. So it is kind of interesting, like how the Olympics are a little different. It's not as many, or I should say it's more niche-y with some of the events.
Yeah.
where, I mean, figure skating, I would say, is one of the bigger events,
I
too.
feel it's up there, yes.
I know some people might be partial to, stay away from it because for some whatever reason or just aren't interested in it, but it is a bigger event.
100%.
So, but I think overall, while we did not, and I'll go over the medal count in just a second, but we did not, necessarily top the medal count. It was the most golds ever in a Winter Olympic for the U.S.
Hey, we'll take
Winter
that.
Olympics.
We like that.
So again,
We
I'll
like
give you
that.
the numbers in a minute, but that right there is that's impressive.
Yeah.
For the red, white, and blue. So here is my. Were you gonna say something real quick?
Well, I was going to say, not to wet blanket it, but do we think that's because they added more events? Like there's been more events than ever before?
Look, Kyle, I ain't getting into specifics for that.
Hey, the number's a number, baby.
I am trying to give the people what they want
Kayla
on
Anderson.
this Monday morning because I myself am struggling.
Kayla cares
All
for
right?
you.
I care about you, the people, specifically the people in our Sacramento area.
Yeah.
I care about you in a time right now where there's not a lot to root for.
We need wins, man.
I care about you, the people. So in this Olympic Minute, let's just start off by giving a little positive news. Again, the medals kept on coming this weekend in the short track speed skating event. We had a bronze medal from Corinne Stoddard. So
Yeah, Corinne.
Yeah, so medal there.
Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
Not to derail this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the video of the speed skater that took the skate to the face?
No, I did not, and I'm glad I didn't.
It was horrible.
So where in the face?
Right across the eye.
Okay, so
It was brutal.
and I would guess immediate stitches.
I don't
yeah.
know. As soon as I saw the slow motion replay because some heartless
No, thank
soul
you.
put it on Twitter, and I guess it was the broadcast. They did a slow mo replay of it, and it's just skate blade right to the eye, and I went, nope.
Did they hit the other skater? Or was it their blade
Like
that
she
somehow...
was coming down,
Yeah.
like fall, and the skater in
gotta
front of her
be kidding
came
me.
up and just right across the eye. I just saw literally a fraction of a second of it, and I went, nope. Turn that off immediately.
That has got to be something that
My worst nightmare.
If I did that, I don't think I could do that sport just for that.
my worst nightmare. That's why I'm like
I'd freak
afraid.
out.
Well, there's a million reasons I'm afraid to ice skate. Mostly because I look like a newborn giraffe on
Right.
the ice. But like,
That's one of
no
them.
blades near me. No
Yeah.
thanks.
And those things are sharp, man,
Yep.
especially in speed skating. In the bobsled, which I felt like this year there was some intriguing storylines in the bobsled event for U.S. They did pretty well. In the women's two-man, go ahead and give it up for, I don't want to pronounce their names wrong, but I think it's Kaylin Armbuster and Armbuster Humphrey. Excuse me, she's got two names.
Hyphenate.
And Jasmine Jones.
Let's go, Jasmine Jones and
winning
what was the first one?
medals. It's a long one. It's Kaylin Ambruster
Hell yeah.
Humphreys.
Atta girls.
Yes.
Ladies.
That's right. But in all seriousness, though, the bobsled this year was a good event for the U.S. U.S. women specifically. So.
Bobsled, I do very much enjoy watching. It is very niche, but it's
crazy,
terrifying.
though. Yeah.
It's like I'm locked in.
It's
like
really
professional
intriguing.
roller coastering. That's what it looks like.
It'd be kind of fun to do. I wouldn't
Hell
be
no.
opposed to getting in one.
Nope.
Unfortunately, guys, women's curling, although the Team USA was in the bronze medal game, they fall to Canada 10-7.
Well, Canada, the men cheated, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing?
Mm-hmm. This was the women's, but regardless.
Hey, I think they won gold, didn't they?
Who? The men?
The Canada men.
They won gold?
Did they?
I think they did.
Bunch of cheaters.
Well, you didn't win gold in hockey.
Ha!
So take that. Freestyle skiing, mixed aerials team freestyle event. Yes, it's a mouthful right there.
And we're saying that they didn't add new events. Okay.
I know. U.S. takes gold.
Yeah, we
That's
did.
right.
That's
Okay,
our event.
You're
That's right.
confirming my point, Kayla.
Okay, well, I don't care, Kyle. I am an optimist this morning.
Killjoy Kyle over there.
I am an
I mean, also the
optimist this
Russians weren't
morning.
allowed to complete, you know.
Well, the Russians.
That's
do
their
some-
fault.
Weren't they eliminated one time for doping in the Olympics?
Yeah.
It's that. It's also
You
Ukraine
know.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Women's mass. Okay, this maybe does give the point.
Say it with your chest. Who cares? We win.
Women's mass start 16 speed skating event.
That one.
U.S. with bronze.
Oh, well.
Well, it's a medal.
Hey, it's a medal, folks, and all that matters is they topped it off in style with the U.S. beating Canada in overtime in men's hockey 2-1. By the way, the women also beating Canada.
Yeah.
And winning the gold
Let's
in
go.
hockey.
USA runs hockey.
It does.
It's our sport.
It is our sport
It's our what?
now, Canada.
It's our country. It's our sport.
Our country. It's our sport. Here's the medal count, guys. Norway ended up at the top of the list. Sorry, don't blame my Viking ancestors.
They're just fake medals, like 8,000 biathlon
All
events.
fake. 41 medals, guys.
Congrats to them.
41. But hey, United States pushed towards the end, and they finished in second with 33 medals overall.
How further ahead are we than Italy?
3 medals.
Hey.
Yeah.
We definitively passed them.
Exactly.
United States and whatever that last 2 events you said, that was the difference.
I know. I was like, I really felt like I was kind of making up events there at the end.
Nope.
Those
legit.
are events.
If we medaled, it's legit.
It is. So congratulations, Team USA. Incredible job at the Winter Olympics. In all seriousness, guys, I kind of enjoy. I didn't watch every single event by any means.
Sure.
But I feel like every night I got briefed a little bit on what was going on.
Yeah.
And I got up at 5 a.m. to watch hockey. I felt like that gave a little bit of my time to really being an Olympic watcher.
The Olympics are fun.
Yeah.
But now, let it be known, we have to wait 2 years until Kayla's Olympic minute returns.
That's right, you guys.
But don't worry, because this summer, Matt George's World Cup
There we
minute
go.
is here.
There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah. You want to
That's
hear
right.
about what
That's
the
right.
Jordan national team did at Levi Stadium?
And you think I was bad with names. Wait till you listen to that.
Wait until you hear Matt George butcher names from halfway around the world.
I butcher basic American names. As soon as we... I'm in trouble, but it's going to be fun.
My biggest takeaways are our guy from Norway and the cheating scandal.
Yeah, did he get the girl?
He did not.
He didn't get her back?
Someone needs to follow it. I'm sorry. There are too many
The Olympics are ruined.
investigative reporters out there. Someone needs to follow up on that story.
They needed to have a High School musical ass moment in the closing
Yes.
ceremonies where she runs into his arms and slaps him.
Exactly.
You cheat on me?
Uh-huh.
Give me
Or just says like I'm never accepting you back in your life. You might have won all those golds. It's not good.
Well, he didn't win any gold.
She's going to be on she's going to be like a star somewhere. She has to.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be like on
She'll
Love
get a reality
Island
TV
somewhere.
No, she absolutely, she already did not want the public attention. She stayed anonymous. She does not want. Anyways, that's my takeaway. The dog and Alyssa winning the gold at the figure skating. That's what I'm going to remember from these
I'm sorry,
Olympics.
what was the dog's name?
It was something from Harry Potter. I can't remember.
I know you like Harry Potter.
Nazgul from The Lord of the Rings. Thank you very much. Coming up next, my good friend from KCRA3, Sean Cunningham, who hates Lord of the Rings. He joins us for to start the final hour of the show. We'll talk Kings, maybe a little spring training as well. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Business moves fast, and so do we. At Bank of Marin, we team up with businesses in the greater Sacramento area to help you drive the lane and score big. With dedicated relationship bankers and local decision-making, we help you move quickly, whether you're upgrading equipment, buying your next building, streamlining cash flow, or fueling growth. From expansion to investment, we're ready to help you win. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Paramount Pictures and Spyglass Media Group present Scream 7, when a new ghost-faced killer emerges in the quiet town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life. Her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, Sidney must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. Starring Neve Campbell, Isabel May, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, with Matthew Lillard, Joel McHale, and Courtney Cox. In theaters February 27th.
Hurry in and save big during Honda's President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Final hour of the show on this Monday. Before we get to Sean Cunningham from KCRA3, set to join us here any minute. Ashley has been waiting patiently on hold, wants to talk a little Kings basketball. Ashley, how are you? Happy Monday.
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing well.
I just wanted to get your opinion real quick and see what's your thoughts on this offseason. The potential of getting off of one of, if not more than, one of our big contracts, or someone like Malik to acquire more draft capital to really kick off our rebuild.
Ashley, thank you so much for the call. I'll separate them into two separate things. And Kayla, you and I have kind of discussed this a little bit already. I think it is essential for the Kings to try and get off of some of these contracts at the very least, primarily because as of right now, they're slated to be a second apron team financially for next year. So that can't happen. Like, that's almost a fireable offense if you're Scott Perry going into next season. So they're definitely going to look to move on from somebody. The other part of her question is the draft capital aspect of it. And we brought this up last week is do the Sacramento Kings consider trying to move back into the first round in some capacity? We talked about using multiple first round picks or maybe even Keegan Murray, but that was to acquire another potentially top 10 pick on draft night if possible. But Ashley's scenario could be use Malik Monk to try and get a 20th pick or something like that on draft night if it's available to you. So I think Scott, opportunistic and prudent and opportunistic, right? Those terms that make us laugh and roll our eyes at this point. But the point is, I think Scott is willing to try different things and keep his options open for different avenues and ways that he can go about it. So
I think one thing is for sure, nobody is necessarily safe. Like, everybody could probably, if there is a situation to be, had and dealt, that could happen. So
we are waiting for Sean Cunningham from KCRA3 to join us, so we'll chat plenty of Sacramento Kings basketball with him. Something I wanted to share with you, too, because we were having the Kings conversation earlier when talking about Maxime Reynaud. Did you know that when Max plays 30 or more minutes this season, he is averaging 16.5 points, 10.8 rebounds, so just shy of 11 rebounds, is shooting 61.5% from the field, 50% from three-point range, although it's a very low volume, and 86% from the free throw line.
Well, that's not bad.
That's very good for playing big minutes.
I was just going to say.
A lot of people, are you familiar with the per 36 stat?
No.
A lot of people, it's a niche stat that a lot of people like, or per 32. It's not 36. It's per 30. No, it is 36.
It sounds like a cat how many times they purr.
It is 36, not per 32, you moron. The per 36 minute stat is, okay, let me take your numbers and average them out to what they would be if you played 36 minutes a night. It's essentially a projection type stat for a college basketball player who 36 minutes would be all but 4 minutes in a game. So let's say a college basketball player plays 28 minutes a night. That's a lot for college.
For sure.
But let me take those numbers in 28 minutes and let me do a per 36 projection to show what their numbers would be if they played 36 minutes a night, star caliber minutes on an NBA team. That's why Darren Peterson's per 36 minutes are inflated. AJ DeBonce's per 36 are inflated. There are numbers to project how good you would be if you played starting caliber or star caliber minutes in the NBA.
Yeah.
we're getting almost real time per 36 here from Maxime Reynaud. When he plays 30-plus minutes, he's averaging a double-double. He's shooting very efficiently. That's very encouraging.
Yeah, and he's been consistent at that too. So that's why we had that conversation earlier. Do you consider, like, you don't have to make the decision right away, but right now you have to somewhat consider.
Yep. I think there are gonna be considerations for Max and what his future looks like. Of course, there are, I can tell you firsthand, there are very, I won't say high expectations, but there is a firm belief that Dylan Cardwell is going to be a long-term part of this team going forward as well.
And if you're Scott Perry, you want it to be a long-term big part of this organization because that's one of Scott Perry's guys.
Yeah.
So
Sean Cunningham from KCRA3 joins us right now. And Sean, I have one thing and one thing only that I need to get your thoughts on. The A's are up 2-1 on the San Francisco Giants in spring training. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's, it actually makes me feel like I wish I was there. I'll be honest, like you've done this, Matt. You've been down there in spring training, and I always argue that the best time to be around a team is for spring training is before games start, and that's what I was just doing this past week, kind of splitting days between the A's and the Giants both, and I got out of there on Friday. And really wanted to stick around because, for one, I knew, yes, they had some interesting games coming up. I know Logan Webb was going to pitch before the USA Classic, the World Baseball Classic coming up for Team USA. And, of course, the Giants were going to have the Dodgers in addition to the A's. So there were some interesting little matchups in spring that I could easily get excited about because I'm a sicko baseball fan. But more importantly, Innings Fest was down there, and I missed it. And I would have loved to have been down there with the headlining of, Blink-182, Mumford & Sons, and 21 Pilots. So that was actually probably the biggest thing I didn't, that was disappointing.
If there's anything you need to know about Sean Cunningham, he is a massive Giants fan, but is an even bigger just music fan in general, especially when it comes to Rihanna. And now karma is about to come and get me, Sean, because Willy Adames is at bat with the bases loaded and 1 out. So now I'm just going to be nervously watching this ESPN Gamecast while talking to you. So how was spring training, my friend? How excited are you for baseball season? And is it any more influenced by what we're hoping will be a entertaining, at the very least, or curious season for the West Sacramento Athletics, potentially their last season here as well, depending upon how things shake up with the collective bargaining agreement?
Yeah, first of all, it was a fabulous time. I felt guilty as all my peers in the news industry were up here getting absolutely drenched in rain and snow and getting, we have the Olympics on KCRA3, so we have a crew that's up at Palisades, Tahoe doing our ozone coverage. Michelle Dapper was up there and just got absolutely buried in snow every single day. And I'm just down all by myself in the Scottsdale, Mesa, Arizona areas, just kind of, trying to tell them, hey, it's a little cold down here. It had a little bit of rain. It's not just completely beautiful yet. And then by the week's end, it was absolutely immaculate. So, I felt completely guilty from that standpoint. But for baseball itself, it's fun being around, say what you will, no matter where I know, Matt, you kind of fall into this being either a former A's fan or at least a tortured A's fan at one point. Seeing the A's in Sacramento, for me, with all due respect to those fans, it's like, well, I totally see what you're going through. It's got to be super hard. They've been absolutely tortured, but the means to an end is near. And I feel like as a casual observer of somebody who, has love for people who are in the A's in terms of A's fans who would root for that organization and now don't. But if you're someone like me who's, grown up a Giants fan and, you're around baseball, it's just great to see baseball in Sacramento. And if this leads to something fantastic, if it doesn't, it's a nice blip in history and kind of shows what they might be able to do. But long-winded answer is I'm really intrigued. I can't wait to see some of the upgrades to the ballpark that kind of come into play. Can Luis Severino bounce back from his just awful season and what he was able to do in West Sacramento, being a better pitcher in the A's when they're on the road than at home. But then just their belief, which sounds really corny because they have so many young players around them, but there's like this genuine belief that the way they closed the season last year being among baseball's top 10 in records after the All-Star break, that can trickle in to this season. Having guys that just are there, know what to expect. Certainly the stories surrounding Nick Kurtz as a rookie of the year, and then Jacob Wilson, who not only finishes second behind him, but, wouldn't surprise people to see him in contention for a batting title, or at least in the discussion for a batting title this year in the American League. So there's just a lot of intrigue that surrounds the team. They feel that they can compete for the division. I don't know if I'm there with them. I have some question marks regarding their pitching, but certainly they can rake, and they're in a very hittable ballpark.
Sean Cunningham of KCRA3 is joining us here on the Matt and Kayla Show. And before we get into basketball, I do have to ask you, being a Giants fan, what is your initial thoughts on Tony Vitello and maybe the impression he can make on an MLB team when he's never played or coached at that level?
Yeah, I mean, certainly curiosity is at peak levels. I think that remains to be seen. I'm very interested in you can certainly see what the track record was like at the college level, and he's coming from what I like to call almost the equivalent to a Major League Baseball university, is just the pipeline and success stories that come out of Tennessee. And forget the records and the history and the championships that they have. It's like they've got a pipeline of just dudes that compete. So that intrigues me. I think it's going to be a vastly different approach to what we've seen over the past decade or so in San Francisco. I think the closest thing that might come to it and some might cringe at this, is the Gabe Kapler approach, which might have been a little bit OCD, but at times, but there was a freedom in the way that they approached players in the clubhouse. And sometimes, it's all dependent upon what your team looks like and who your leaders are. And I think your manager, some of your players can be reflective of your manager. And I think the problem with the Gabe Kapler era is that maybe everything wasn't aligned top to bottom. When you talk players, coaching staff, you talk front office and ownership. And now I think things might look a little bit different. The addition of Buster Posey brings a professionalism to the organization that brings a been there, done that, certainly somebody who's had ultimate level of success. And I think having Tony Vitello there, bringing a freedom of just a fresh face and something that's easy to kind of be malleable as you move forward and what you want your organization to be. And then let's face it, I mean, you have to be able to spend money, and they've struck out so many times in trying to bring in top tier talent. But last year they were able to do that in Rafael Devers. And I think having a full season with Devers, putting some pieces around him, I love what that infield is looking like, especially from a defensive standpoint. You had Luis Arias, who was a 3-time batting champ. I really like some of the additions that they've made. Now, much like the A's, I think pitching is very much in question. But unlike the A's, you've got a pitcher in Logan Webb who is coming off of arguably his best season, leading the league in strikeouts, a Gold Glover, 2-time All-Star, and now should be definitely in the mix for a Cy Young Award winner. He leads the league in innings. I mean, this guy is just an incredible pitcher who I never thought I would see that when I saw him as a little kid in Rockland, growing up under the Thunder program, primarily as a football player, because I didn't really know him as a baseball player then. So, it's a lot of fun. I think there's a lot to be intrigued by, and I think they're positioned really well to where, depending upon what kind of start this season looks like, I think that they can kind of position themselves to be a factor in those midseason moves and possibly get something before the All-Star break.
Well, Sean, Willy Adames grounded into a double play, and the Giants didn't score, so take that. Take that. And Nick Kurtz is up to bat right now with a full count, so be scared.
That's going out. He's hitting that out. Everything. He's like Aaron Judge these days. Anything I feel like it's coming, it's leaving the ballpark.
Switching gears to this, let's call it interesting, maybe crazy Sacramento Kings season, a wild ride that we've been on with this Kings season this year. What, for these final 24 games, what intrigues you, or are you at least a little bit curious about when you're the Kings and you're trying to just make the most out of the remainder of these games at the end of a pretty difficult and lost season? What is it that other than your job, that keeps you coming back, that keeps you tuning in?
Boy, there's a lot of ways you could go there. I think there's not much, I don't think, curiosity there. I would say that, like, if I was asked this question, I think I was asked this question actually a little over a week ago, where this was season-ending surgeries for the likes of Zach LaVine, but more so with Domantas Sabonis. I could talk myself into, wanting to see certain guys play with Domantas Sabonis because I still feel like he's going to be a contributor on this team going forward until he's not. But I just feel like that's a pretty tough piece to move right now. And I feel like, he's still a very serviceable, very coveted NBA player. It's a tough contract to move. So I feel like, being able to move off of that is one thing, but having him part of your team to be able to contribute, I just feel like that holds more weight than trying to move off of him and trying to get something because I just don't ultimately feel like you'll win the trade, if that makes sense. So looking at that, seeing guys like seeing like Maxime Reynaud, especially Nick Clifford with the ball in his hands so much now, there is a curiosity to see how these guys play bulk minutes with someone like him. That obviously is off the table now because he has a season-ending surgery, which is unfortunate because he tried to not get surgery, tried to rehab, and then all of a sudden now he needs surgery on that meniscus tear. So unfortunate for sure. But to answer the question in terms of what's curious out there, there's not much. I mean, this team is tough. I mean, it's a bad team. Can they keep the worst record in the league alive? Can they keep the the franchise record long losing streak going? I'll admit there's some curiosity there because of just how these games are being managed and also how the opponents are going about their business. The Kings just look like they're in complete disarray, and they probably should look like that because their roster is completely almost unimaginable compared to what we've thought coming into the season and what this things could look like. I mean, certainly I don't think any of us thought that this team would be any damn good, but didn't think it would be this bad either. And see that you've got the likes of Killian Hayes coming in on a 10-day contract and Patrick Baldwin signing as a two-way, and you're playing a whole bunch of rookies along the way. So I know some people who are in favor of the tank. They're probably enjoying this. It's tough for somebody like me who wants to see quality basketball night in, night out. I kind of cringe at it. But now you're this far in. You've got 25 games remaining. Steady as the course as you kind of spiral towards the most ping pong balls. And I think that's what gives everybody the most encouragement is knowing that you may not have a guy to build around right now in terms of a star level talent, but in a couple months, that will be different. And I think that, to me, is what is the most attractive, appealing thing about Sacramento Kings basketball is getting that piece that most other NBA teams have to be able to build around and identify as your star going forward. And, they'll have that after June's draft.
We have KCRA 3's Sean Cunningham. We're talking a little Kings now. And, Sean, what is your, overall opinion right now on Maxime Reynaud, and especially coming off of a game where he's taking on high caliber talent in Wemby, and where do you feel like he fits right now this season with his growth?
Yeah, I think this has been just a completely positive season individually for him to be able to check a lot of boxes along the way in terms of growth, development, just really getting experience to show how his skill set can fall into a team and kind of be embraced going forward and kind of see what he's good at, what he's not so good at, what he needs to grow in, probably what an off season for him looks like, which would probably mean, gaining some pounds and not being such a player that offenses will look to attack on the defensive end. But that's also roster creation too. That doesn't fall solely on his shoulders. So I think it's an A+ in that regard. You don't see a lot of second-round picks come in and do what he's been able to do and kind of find a foothold. But you can certainly see why this team coveted somebody like Maxime Reynaud. I think he's in a good position going forward. But cautiously optimistic, I should say, people should probably be. I don't think you'd look at him and say, he's a player of your, that you're going to necessarily build around already. But he's certainly somebody that piques your interest in wanting to be here and be part of the future. You've got total control of him as a young player contractually. He doesn't make a whole lot of money. And, I think there's a lot to like right there. And I think instantly he's probably one of the most brilliant players from a basketball standpoint, from the mental game and understanding spacing and communication level that you're going to see. And that's anytime you're looking at somebody who you don't know a lot about, or you're scouting or kind of evaluating talent, you always try to find what they're elite at, and that to me leaps off the page as something that Maxime is very elite at, and I think he's added a lot of tools to his toolbox. I think the experience is just absolutely paramount for him, and I'm right now, yeah, it's interesting to see how the season will finish, but I'm more interested to see what the start of next year looks like, because I expect a lot of big things from him, and I think he can take a major leap over the summer.
Sean, you've known and covered Doug Christie for a long time. I've shared that I feel as tough as these final 24 some odd games are for us to get through, they're incredibly important for Doug Christie to show that he is the right head coach to start this rebuild and to be here to develop this next chapter of Sacramento Kings basketball. And in the case of like how Maxime Reynaud performed on Saturday, it really works in his favor when you see him play as well as he did against the San Antonio Spurs. Again, you're very familiar with who Doug is as a coach, as a basketball player, as a human being. How do we even begin to judge or look at or pick apart Doug Christie's role and part in this season, whether or not he was put in a position really to succeed to begin with, but how much of the now record-long losing streak in the history of the Kings organization, how much that he wears as the head coach? How do you balance just, I guess, the job security and or how we judge Doug Christie and the work that he's done this season in Sacramento?
Yeah, I think if we could pull, 10 fans, 10 media members, and even a couple players in that locker room, you'd probably get vastly different answers. And from that standpoint alone, I think it's a bit incomplete. I mean, we still have 25 games left of the season, and here we are talking about in terms of, curiosity and interest level. I think Doug falls into that too. So right now I'd say it's rather incomplete. Like I don't blame Scott Perry for not coming out and saying in his post-trade deadline availability that they're committed to Doug long term and to guarantee his job going beyond this season, because you still have games to play. And I think like it or not, like the reality is there's still an expectation for those young players to go out there and compete and show that they can be something, that they can be a team, that they can pull the right way and kind of live up to what the identity that they want to be, not necessarily the identity that they are, but they can kind of pull in that right direction of the identity that they want to be. And I think that's a lot of that comes from Doug Christie. So there's still an evaluation going on, like it or not, over these 25 games remaining in the season. So I can understand, that really anything is up in the air when it comes to Doug Christie. My personal belief is, I think the way your team is built, the way your team is now pushing into a youth movement, you talk about talent evaluation, you talk about opportunities and experience and kind of on-the-job training. Well, Doug Christie falls in line with that. Like, he might have a ton of experience as a player, a little bit as an assistant coach, and, certainly as someone who's been around this league and player development, but being a head guy, I mean, let's face it, it's been a little over a year now. He'll have a full season and a half. And if they chose to, hit the eject button and go in a different direction, I'd certainly understand it. And I mean, certainly head coaches have been fired for less. But I would say that, I think if you're asking me, I think it would make sense from the continuity standpoint, even though there will be continue to be a lot of evolution to this roster and change that's going to be on the horizon. This team isn't necessarily built to win right now. And so I think by that virtue, if you can, as long as things are pulling the right way, as long as you can check the box of saying, some of your young guys fall under the philosophies and Doug Christie is kind of getting them in that direction beyond the wins and losses, that to me would be enough promise to bring him back for the season ahead. But those decisions, fortunately, won't have to be made until at the end of the season. So I think if it was me and I was making that decision, that's what I would do.
Sean, we got a great college game coming up tonight with two could be future Kings in Kingston Flemings and the controversial, I should say, Darren Peterson. Yeah. Curious on your take. We've had this debate a lot on our show recently. Do you make anything of the Peterson missed games, and would that affect you if you were a GM in terms of drafting him?
I think I can answer that two ways, and I don't want to speak at both sides of my mouth. If I'm a GM looking to draft, and let's say I'm the Kings, who have the worst record in the league and don't have anyone to build around, there's nothing scaring me about going after somebody like Darren Peterson, especially if you think he's significantly or even just a little bit more better than AJ DeBonsa, Cameron Boozer, any of the Kingston Flemings, as you mentioned. You've got to get best player available. They just need a beacon of light, and they need somebody who has star potential. And I think that's absolutely what Darren Peterson provides. Now, if you're asking me, is he my number one? I don't know that I'm there yet. That answer might fluctuate a little bit between now and then. Certainly, he's in a program that is expected to do very well in the tournament. They've had a nice season to begin with. He's been a part of that, both when he's on the court and when he's not. So, I'm interested. To me, I think there's a lot of interest in terms of wanting to see him against some of these other guys that are in the draft. But to be honest, I'm more intrigued about seeing him against guys that are college players that are more like 22, 23 years old. Because here he is 18 years old, and like it or not, when he gets to the NBA, he's going up against grown-ass men. So that, to me, is a little bit more intriguing of what he can do, especially against teams that have sizable length on their team. That to me is intriguing. So if I'm a GM, no, I'm not scared. Some of the stuff that have happened I find amusing, but I feel like a lot of it is just the way it is in this day and age when you're talking NIL. I mean, I would say probably more than half the country considers him to be the number one pick. And when you've got that type of kind of hype behind you, all you can do is really damage that. Maybe even with your on-court play. So it'll be interesting to see what he does, but there's no loyalty in sports, and there used to be loyalty in college basketball. That's in college football. Those colleges loyalty is out of the picture in college athletics these days, and that's because of the landscape being what it is. And so doesn't make me want to not watch him play basketball, but I don't blame somebody especially for him, who's going to be probably the consensus number one pick.
Well, Sean, from tonight's Kings-Grizzlies game all the way to the NBA draft and beyond, you'll keep us up to date with all the great coverage over at KCRA3. We appreciate you making some time to come back on the show with us, my friend, and we'll do it again very soon. See you at the Golden One Center a lot in March, too. We got a lot of home games coming up. Yeah, a lot of high school. Got some college. Got women's Final Four semifinals coming through there. That's going to be entertaining. So a lot of basketball, even beyond just the Sacramento Kings, if people just want to kind of get that fix in. So we got section, man, Matt, I know you're out of it. You're not in the TV world anymore, but I'm going to miss seeing you out at on the baseline shooting these section finals for high school coming up. No, you won't, you liar.
No, I won't. Get out of my way.
Get out of my way.
I could never. I'm shooting on this little tiny camera. Sean's got a bazooka on his shoulder. I'm getting boxed out no matter what.
That's the way to do it, man. I didn't shoot with those small ones either.
No, Sean.
No.
I had both of them. Well, I had both until I went to 3. I used to prefer the little camera. In fact, that was the camera I had when I was at that station. So I absolutely missed shooting on that little camera, to be honest. But yeah, I got.
You're like, what are you talking about, Kayla? You crazy?
Well, now in the Kings media section, I sit behind Sean to watch games. I'm in the back row, not the front row anymore, because I'm not on TV anymore, and I can't see over Sean's goddamn camera. So put it down, man. I appreciate you, Sean. We'll talk very soon, my friend.
Sean.
Appreciate it. The great Sean Cunningham from KCRA3 joining us here on Matt and Kayla. We'll take the break. When we come back, we'll take a final preview of Kings-Grizzlies tonight. Take a look at the injury report that's longer than Santa's naughty or nice list. And we have Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles joining us for a little bit of crosstalk to wrap up this Monday edition of Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Join Sactown Sports Downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally Towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6 to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
High Voltage Live boxing action returns to the venue on March 7th as Uppercut Promotions presents Thunder Showdown 4, a stacked lineup featuring polished pros for a night of exhilarating boxing action you won't want to miss. Scheduled fighters include Sacramento locals Edgar Perez, Christopher Estep, and Sergio Gonzalez, as well as Bay Area fighters Dante Kirkman, Braulio Ceja Navarro, and Kyle Lakalale. Thunder Showdown 4, coming March 7th to the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Fight cards subject to change. Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, John Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Bar None Auction, Sky River Casino, and Trex Decking and Railing. More info at CITPFest.com.
You ever notice how the other guys scream about massive discounts on their Dodge, Chrysler, or Jeep Ram vehicles? Then you get to the fine print and boom, another $5,200 in mandatory ads. At Hoblet, we don't insult your intelligence. The price you see is the price you pay. No mystery add-ons, no bait and switch, no gotcha when you sit down to buy. Hoblet, family owned for 77 years. Transparency, straightforward pricing. Buy it right, buy it at Hoblet.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Emran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Will tonight be the night? The streak is over.
Oh, geez.
Will it happen tonight?
I'm sick of guessing.
If it doesn't happen tonight, it's probably not going to happen for a long time. Because after,
why are we even saying that? Because it's the Memphis Grizzlies and half their team's not playing. That doesn't matter before.
Well,
and they traded their stars.
Kings are 0-3 against Memphis this season.
Right.
After Memphis, they have Houston. They have Dallas. Los Angeles, the Lakers. Phoenix.
No Dylan Brooks.
No Dylan Brooks, but they're still a good team. New Orleans, who knows? Last time they played New Orleans, it was ugly. At some point, listen, the two longest losing streaks in the NBA right now are the Sacramento Kings and the Chicago Bulls.
Who wants some more?
Don't worry, they play each other on Sunday, March 8th. So maybe that'll be the night.
Wow, we really are the Sacramento Bulls.
In fact, we need that to happen. We need the Kings and the Bulls to lose all their games until their matchup on Sunday, March 8th, where we're guaranteed a snapped losing
The Plunger Bowl? Or whatever you want to call it.
If you just give me any reason at all to be even remotely interested in the game, that's a reason.
And that's what it is. Well, and why I laugh, and part of me is joking when I say, well, I've lost track. I'm not even going to say, are they going to win or not or end the streak? Because they've just been so bad on the road.
Oh, yeah.
They've won 3 games the entire season on the road.
Stinky.
That's crazy to think about, guys.
December 6th was their last win.
That is really nutso to think about.
Yeah, not great.
Do we think they're favored tonight?
Oh no, they're
No,
they're.
I wouldn't
think
say
they're like
so.
3. I think I heard the morning show say they're either 3.5 or 4-point underdogs, something like that.
Looks like 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
3.5. Okay, so that's about. I mean,
if you're betting
home court advantage.
if you're betting on this game, you're a degenerate. Like,
Yeah,
no, just
please don't.
take the night off, huh?
Mhm.
Like, take the night
Do
off.
yourself a favor.
The injury report for this game is exhausting. We know the Kings, Zach LaVine out with his 5th pinky surgery.
Yeah.
Domantas Sabonis out with his knee surgery. DeAndre Hunter out with his eye surgery. Dylan Cardwell is out with an ankle injury. Isaiah Stevens also unavailable because of the G League in this game. So that is the 5 players that are not available for the Kings tonight. As for the Grizzlies,
here we go.
no John Morant, no Zach Edey, no Cedric Coward, no Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, no Santi Aldama, no Brandon Clark, and Kyle Anderson is doubtful
My cousin's not even playing
tonight. Come on. Call Kyle up and say.
I do have a cousin named Kyle Anderson, by the way.
Call him up and say, yo, play tonight.
Kyle Anderson sounds like Matt making a mess up when he's trying to address us.
That is true.
That's
would
funny.
meld them
You're
together.
Right. By the way, real quick.
Yep.
Is Jaw's like pretty much done the season, right?
I would imagine so.
Okay.
There's no incentive for him
I
to
wanted
play.
to just.
His elbow injury.
Yes.
My elbow hurts.
Exactly.
I mean,
he's not be here.
Memphis,
last summer. So.
They're not interested in losing or winning by any means, but they keep winning against the Sacramento Kings. In terms of draft lottery standings, in case anyone's curious, the Kings are still number 1 in terms of the worst record and the best draft lottery odds. It's a flattened odds with the top 3, but number 1 means the furthest you can fall is 5. The Memphis Grizzlies are 8th in draft lottery odds, a whopping 10.5 games back of the Kings.
That's actually really surprising, just knowing how much they've gotten rid of people. But at the same time, they haven't been like a completely losing team this year.
Well, they're 21-34.
Right.
But they're 10.5 games back of the Kings in the tank
And
standings.
that's, I guess, how bad the Kings
because
are.
the Kings are 12-46.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't put my money on this game, period. I certainly wouldn't put my money on this game for the Sacramento Kings to snap the losing streak tonight. Jalen Wells, Sacramento kid, always balls out and plays well against the Kings here in Sacramento. Will it be any different on the road?
Sure.
The Kings are coming off of, yes, it was a double-digit loss to the San Antonio Spurs, but there was a lot about this game that I was encouraged by. Maxime Reynaud, we've talked a lot about today, I thought played really, really well. You want to see them build on that. I want to see Keegan Murray continue to look aggressive and be featured on offense. I felt the Kings were doing that. Now you just want to see that percentage keep up. I would love to see a Keegan Murray 30-point game. Just flirt with 30.
If there's a time to do it.
Get up there. He had 16 shot attempts, I believe, in San Antonio. That number needs to be minimum 16, 16 to 20 in terms of shot attempts. We know Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan are going to get their own. And then Nick Clifford, we didn't talk about him too much.
That's who I want to see.
He had some good moments defensively in San Antonio.
That's not enough for me.
Well, he did shoot fairly well. 8 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So he did fine. But now is your opportunity, Kayla, to show that you're more than fine, right?
Yeah.
This is a showcase opportunity for you. Just because Keegan Murray comes back and DeMar and Russ are still out there doesn't mean that you have to play passive. So I want to see an aggressive Nick Clifford from the jump, not just when the veterans are not in the game.
I think that's the biggest part for him too, is I feel like when he is able to have that confidence from the get-go, he plays pretty well. He's just so inconsistent right now. I can't really say much.
Just show us who you are in the NBA. And that's what we've been asking for a while. We've seen flashes and moments. I have a feeling I know who Maxime Reynaud is as an NBA player.
Same here.
And I know what he needs to get better at. I certainly know what Nick Clifford needs to get better at. But if you were to tell me, Matt, project Nick Clifford's future role with the Sacramento Kings, I think I have an idea of what it's supposed to be.
What is that?
Which is I think he's supposed to be a rotational Swiss Army knife longer guard.
Okay.
That gives you opportunity as a secondary ball handler, can guard the perimeter, can knock down the three, and rebounds well for his size. I think that's what he's supposed to be. But we're talking a 15-minute-a-night role on hopefully a good team one day.
Yeah.
Now is the time to show that you could potentially be more than that, because right now, 15 minutes on a good team, who cares?
Right. And it's like, why not, right?
Yeah.
Why not take advantage of the opportunity? Not saying that's going to be you on a night-to-night basis every time in the future, but you're right. I mean, might as well take advantage of that, build your confidence, help improve your game against, I don't care what is on the other side. It's NBA competition.
Do you think we see Killian Hayes tonight?
If
he's available, if he's there, they announced the signing officially today, so he's part of the team.
I mean, well then, yeah.
I would say go for it.
They made the official announcement. You're right.
Earlier
so
today.
I would say, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to see Devin Carter?
You got him for no, I don't think so. You got him. You got Killian Hayes for 10 games. Play him. I think you'll see Devin Carter in garbage time minutes. That's how it was in San Antonio.
So he got a brief little stint while they were kind of not having depth.
Yeah. And I wonder if they're going to hold back Malik Monk a little bit too, because Malik actually has been playing really well.
Yeah.
Malik's been playing well.
I don't have a problem with Malik.
We know what Malik is. Kings know what Malik is. They know what his value is. I imagine the Kings are going to try and shop Malik Monk again this summer, or see if they can find a trade partner for him going forward. I've said repeatedly, if he's a member of the Sacramento Kings next season, I don't think that's a bad thing by any means.
I don't either.
But I think while Killian Hayes is here on this 10-day contract, I think Devin Carter is back to being out of the rotation. And I think you're only really going to see Monk in backup two-guard minutes, because Hayes is here to add some depth at that point guard spot. He's more of a true point guard than anybody else on this roster other than Russell Westbrook.
And you got to see what you got. Like we were saying earlier, that's Scott Perry's job right now, is to kind of tinker with some things and to see, wow, this could be something. Hell no, it couldn't be something.
Well, someone who's really excited about both Killian Hayes and especially Patrick Baldwin Jr. is Alan Stiles. My God, he's doing victory laps. Larry's doing victory laps in the parking lot right now because
he's like doing wheelies.
Because the Kings signed a former Golden State Warriors draft pick from 2022. Alan Stiles and Whitey Gleason will join us next for some crosstalk here. Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
The Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com to join.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Going.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
This could be the day that I knock Alan out.
Kings signed a former Golden State Warrior, and gold-blooded over here is thrilled about it.
Cold-blooded.
That's our Alan
he's got his
Styles.
shades
And
on.
sunglasses are on because we're inside.
It's a beautiful day.
Oh, goodness.
The sun is shining. No case of the Mondays here.
Oh,
and
boy.
whenever you have an opportunity to add not one, but 2 former first-round picks, what is there not to love? 7-footers shooting the lights out, baby.
He was 28th overall and is shooting 32% in the G
Ah.
League.
A 7-foot
Shooting the
wingspan.
lights out. Fire up the tape, Whitey.
What's your definition of shooting the lights out?
When I watch a highlight tape and more than 3 shots go in, he's shooting the lights out, baby.
It's as in you turn the lights off so you don't have to watch anymore. That's what it
Who
is.
again was the guy that you liked so much before the draft a couple years ago who was not drafted?
Grant Nelson.
Yeah.
And where is he?
you know,
What
The Long
country is
Island
he in?
Nets.
he's with the Nets. You know, they have a lot of young talent.
Oh, Jordy loves him.
Yeah, exactly.
Jordy loves
Team guy. I mean, this is just, I'm just hanging out last night, doing my
I
thing.
knew what you were. I was watching your Twitter.
Yesterday, just hanging out, and all of a sudden I see the most beautiful notification come through. And then I see another come through. This is what it's all about. We have 24 whatever more games. Okay? The lottery is around the corner. We will not get 5. We will not get 5. We will not get 5. This is a beautiful thing, people. Beautiful thing.
Look
simming
at him.
Simming the lottery.
Alan, I need some of that.
Well,
energy.
he's right. The Kings got 4.
Woo! Woo! Turn me up, Johnny.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Dallas is top 3.
Again.
Are they really?
Yeah. Dallas
Oh,
is
my
Wait,
goodness.
Let me do mine.
Charlotte wins. Brooklyn 2.
All right, number 3, taking AJ.
AJ's not going to be a 3. I'm convinced AJ DeBonsa is not going to be a 3.
I don't know. Bobby Gerald said that Caleb Wilson would be number 2.
Well,
Bobby Gerald also predicted the Killian Hayes signing.
See?
Interesting
Oh,
signing.
by the way, I screwed that up. They were 5.
Matt.
What?
I always get those 2 numbers mixed up.
The logo is next to the
I'm
pick.
tired, and I saw purple.
Matt, I'm having some.
Ascot?
Yeah.
3? Oh.
Matt, I'm speaking with some people right now, but I know you're also pretty plugged in.
Yep.
Are you hearing anything about Johnny Juzang? Is there a reason he's not on? What is so funny, Whitey?
No, just the TV's on. They got Seinfeld
6'7",
on. I'm sorry.
24 years old.
6'7".
You know, blue chip pedigree.
Well,
Are
you're
we
talking
hearing
to the
anything?
people. What are they telling you? You said I'm talking to the
Yeah,
people. What are they telling you, Alan?
It's kind of dry right now.
They're
I don't know.
insiders.
I don't know. He's working his way through. Obviously, he would have already gone through the waiver claims, but I don't know. I think he's another guy to add. Anytime you can add somebody that's got Cam Johnson capability, you do it. Imagine that. Him, PBJ, Killian Hayes, who looks like a prime
So
D'Angelo
we
Russell
have
the
a G
first
League
time in
team?
Brooklyn. Excuse me?
So we just have the G League team here for the rest of the year.
What do you think this
I'm
is?
going to be honest. Somebody said, is calling Killian Hayes, because I said I see some D'Angelo Russell. Somebody said, is that a good thing? I said, on this team, yes, it is. I mean, D'Angelo
Most
Russell,
teams, that ain't a good thing.
the first time at Brooklyn, I'll take that right now on the
Very
Kings.
early in his career. Yeah.
I'll take that right now. I don't know. The energy, Whitey.
I saw you post that. I thought the same thing. It's like, I'm not going to go
You know
down
what?
that rabbit hole with Alan.
Look, there's just so, last week it was 32 degrees. Today it's almost 70. This week it's going to be 70. We get to watch
It's supposed to rain tomorrow.
We get to watch, well, it's going to be raining tonight, baby.
Oh, raining what?
Threes if
From
they get
who?
PBJ in there.
Oh, God.
And it's always strawberry jelly. Can we agree on
Oh,
that?
yeah, I do agree
Are
with
we
you on
there?
that. Yeah.
Matt?
No.
You look like, are you a boysenberry guy?
No, grape.
Are you-
I knew it!
What does that mean? He's like a grape.
I just think.
Speaking of which, I'm watching Dancing Fruit while Alan talks.
I don't understand, Whitey. You know what? I'm going to save this. I'm going to holster it.
Yeah, please save it.
We got
Please.
Kevin Dan at 3.
Save it for 4:30 today.
No, we got Kevin Dan at 3 p.m. play-by-play, one of the rising stars in the play-by-play era, and we got 2 p.m. the Big Bang. Okay, the Big Bang is at 2 p.m. You don't want to miss how we're starting out the show.
Big Bang
That's
Theory?
all I got. You guys, I'll go back under my shell because clearly y'all ain't vibing with the PBJs and the Killian Hayes and Johnny
Alan, we
Juzang,
just
who's
did
on
a
the way.
4-hour show.
Oh,
I just
4
hate to
hours,
see
4
it.
hour.
False hope and all that.
What's the false hope, Whitey?
False
They have
hope is
12
that-
wins.
Yeah.
They have 12. It
I know,
can't
but
get
you're
worse.
well, it can always get worse.
Let me take off my shades.
Yeah.
You know, let me take them off.
I know,
There
Shawshank
we go.
Redemption, there's no such thing as false
You
hope.
know.
But,
all right.
Oh, now Alan's
I'm done.
gone down a level.
No. Hey,
He took off
He's
the
delirious.
shades.
Look, these losing streaks affect different people differently.
That's a
Alan's
good
a little
point.
delirious.
Giants are undefeated, by the way. Turn up.
Are they? Did they lose?
It's Giants A's today.
They're
They're
playing
up.
right
They're
now.
up 3-2 right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful time to be
Nothing
alive.
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
Nothing wrong
You know,
with that, Alan.
enjoying the fact that it's a beautiful day.
That's right. My allergies aren't tripping. It's great.
Oh, I was talking about that today. I heard the allergies here are not great.
They're going to get you.
Well,
I
allergy
live in
season
Nashville,
starts
though.
early
It's
this year,
worse.
and then they have an extra round of playoffs, too.
All right.
I told her about our famous poop trees. You know about our poop
Yeah,
trees?
they stink.
The trees that have all those white flowers that all smell like poop.
Oh, I think I've probably seen them.
Yes,
I never.
They're everywhere in
Yes.
the Sacramento area, and they all smell like poop. Poop
Yeah,
trees.
I never put the name there.
Nope. Well, they're called something real, but
Okay.
we call them poop trees.
Yeah, I get it.
We meaning me.
Yes. Well, for then, I hope my allergies do come back so I don't have to smell that. But besides that, it's just, oh my goodness.
It's a glorious day.
Yeah.
I can tell the type of show it's going to be today.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Feel like, wow, I'm
Whitey's like-
not sure I was ready for the
Whitey's like,
energy today.
"Damn."
Yeah.
His crash at 3 p.m. is going to be
I know.
legendary.
That's going to be epic.
I don't crash. Kyle, tell him there's no crash here.
He's going to get the stretcher.
No, it's
Then
just
we-
all style espresso.
Then we head to the swamp.
On another note,
Swamp.
just to kind of, this has been as a transition to I don't know what. That's up to you, Matt. Yesterday I was playing with Marvel action figures with Kenji. He's almost 2.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, it's the first time he's played with them. He's like, oh, Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man. And I show him the Hulk. And he goes, no socks.
What?
It's like, you're right.
Practical.
That's
Practical.
hilarious.
No shirt either, but no
socks.
socks.
I know. I
That's
don't know why I
great.
went right to the socks, but
That's
yeah.
actually really funny.
Yeah, it's on the money.
I was going to invite you to play golf this weekend, but now you're
Why not?
Now I'm tired.
Why are you tired?
Because if I have to hear every time on my backswing, BBJ,
I'm
BBJ.
not going to talk about that on the course.
Wow, you chipped in just like PBJ's gonna from the corner.
I'm not going to talk about it on the course. I'm going to talk about breaking 90. That's all I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about my chipping. Right?
Regardless, Matt, he's
Come
not
on,
gonna
Matt.
shut up.
Whoa.
I feel bad.
What is this?
Alan has invited me to golf multiple times, and
Wait,
I've
you
always
have?
yes, and I've always had to say no because this was during my TV days. Well, now I have the ability to play golf. I want to play again, so it's like, well, I gotta get out with Alan because I've heard so much great stuff about his breaking 90 PBJ.
You know,
And
it depends on who you ask.
What's your home course?
mini golf.
Honestly,
Where do
my
you break 90?
honestly, my home course now, and it's not even the closest course to me, is probably Hagen.
Okay.
I just love the setup at Hagen.
Yep.
I love the driving range. I really do.
What's the best part
Shout
of
out
your
Tom Morton.
game?
Yeah. Shout out Tom Morton. But best part of my game, I'm second shot Johnny.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I have
Got it.
14 hybrids, and my friends make fun of me for being a grandpa.
As in the mulligan, or once you
No,
get
no.
an 80-yard drive.
Yeah,
then
the
you-
second one.
You smoke
Give
your
me
second
give me
shot.
my 2 hybrid, and
Yeah.
I'm piping that thing.
Which is great because then you get it to where your friends drove.
Exactly.
So in 2
Right.
shots,
Exactly.
yeah.
But don't 18 hole course, at least 3 times I'm out driving because my buddies they go hard. My buddy's a member at Olympic and they go crazy. And you know when I do get them, you know you're gonna hear somebody's closer every single time.
Can you imagine
Happy
playing
Gilmore?
sports
Anyone?
with this guy?
Anyone?
Yes.
What's the demo here? Kyle's not gonna help me.
Well, we're all younger than you, Alan. So,
Yeah, probably.
well,
Happy Gilmore.
Wait, just take it.
Wow, that normally
that's
does
the
well.
movie with Bad Bunny in it, right?
That normally does very well.
Sactown Sports would have a really interesting scramble team, like scramble group.
Well,
We don't have a long hitter, I don't think.
I think
all I do
Dave,
well is
I would be a
J.
good
Ross might be.
Jason.
good at putting.
J. Ross is just consistent, but I've
Yeah.
seen like J. Ross would probably be the consistent longest hitter.
Yeah.
But Dave hits it well, but that's
Chris has the height. Chris gets them bad boys in the air.
Chris.
There you
Chris
go.
pop flies.
Yeah, Chris
I
gets
love
them in
chipping.
the air.
Chipping's what I do.
Yeah, I could be.
Frankie, I've never seen. He's another one who keeps turning me down.
Frankie almost killed me on the golf course. I don't want to play with him anymore.
Wow.
He had a screamer right over my head.
Didn't even say 4.
Well, no, he excessively apologized. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
He's still apologizing.
Yep. That's why he deserves what he's got.
Wow. Well, look, outstanding show by you two.
Oh, thanks.
You know, what is that? I can't say
I'm sorry.
anything.
I shouldn't be watching TV when you're talking.
What was your favorite part of the show?
My favorite part,
Alan, what
I mean, it just wouldn't be fair to the other parts of the show to choose.
That's right. If you had to
know
name
what I mean?
one of the 17 great moments of the show, what would you say? Like,
Yeah, I think
Today.
my favorite was the Kayla Kings potato chips.
That was an interesting analogy.
I thought it was a damn good analogy.
Hey, you know what?
Just too much air in the
I'm
bag,
trying to be relatable to people out there.
Whitey's been nicknaming them the Alanalogies.
Yeah.
So you know, if anyone's gonna appreciate a random analogy, it's your boy. Okay. It is your boy.
You just do one show together, just the two of you, just one show.
I would literally kill it.
7 hours, no breaks, no commercials, all gas, baby.
I think they should do both shows together tomorrow.
I'll do it.
Well,
I'll do it.
Then somebody buy me. I want a buffet. I need all the energy drinks.
I'll get you what you need. Filet.
Okay. Yes.
How do you like your filet?
Medium. Well.
Medium plus. See, I got to teach you about the medium plus. Kyle, tell her. Got to teach you about the medium plus.
Medium plus. Wouldn't that be like?
It will rock
it's
your
in
world.
between medium rare.
No.
I'm sorry, medium
Kyle.
well.
It's in between medium well and medium.
Okay.
It'll change your life.
Does Dave know about this? Because if you have anything even medium to Dave is insulting.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I wouldn't tell Dave this.
Dave does not
So
like.
Dave just eats a cow. Like he'll just go out and chop a cow.
That's Dave.
Tartar.
Seen him do it?
Tartar, yeah.
Tartar.
Big old
Are
bite.
you? Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Mhm.
That don't sit right.
That's
with me.
after the golf course, after I break 85.
Not inviting you. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you
Thanks
tomorrow.
for listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports. Drive guys are next.
Peace.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can